Sunday!
It's loud.
Oh, woo. That's correct.
Sunday.
Thank you. It's Sunday, everybody, and it's time for High Rollies. We're back after our little break. I am your Dungeon Master Mark Sherlock Holmes. I'm joined this week by my friends. Blah, 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 blah. We got Ree and we got Kim.
Trot's
and
here.
on the other side, oh, sorry, and a little tiny Trot over there as well.
Sticky boy.
And then on the other side, we've got Tom and Katie.
Hi,
And
Mark.
indeed, poor Christopher Trottimus is not very well. Picked up a bit of plague from his trips. So he's not joining us this week. Riddled with sickness. Absolutely riddled.
We do not want it.
No, but we're back. We had a little week off to sort of recover and for things to happen, and we're back to stuff. So, a couple of not much to announce this week, just a couple of reminders of certain things. If you enjoy what we do and you'd like to support us, and you would like to get a little something, a little treat for you at home. Yes, you deserve one. You can go check out our merch. We have a merch store. We've got a bunch of new items and new stuff on there, as well as some old stuff.
I don't
You
have
can go and check that out. We also have our bath bomb collaboration with Geeky Clean.
Yeah, we do.
You can also go check out our Rihanna's showing one off. We're gonna bing bing bing.
It's so beautiful and
We've got
smells
beautiful.
nice.
We have these awesome dice. Katie's got one as well. Oh, look at this. We've all got one. But these lovely bath bombs by Geeky Clean, they smell lovely, and you get a set of dice inside as well.
Mine still smells good, yeah.
You can also head on over to DM Stash and get, I can never remember the site where people buy it, Only Games.
Yes.
And you can check out our minis, which we work with My Mini Factory on as well. You can get them in 250%, so big, or you can get them in miniature small.
No.
So you can get these. They all support us, and you get a lovely set of miniatures. Grab some merch. So why not treat yourself? It supports us, and you get a lovely treat
So
too.
much good stuff. Good stuff.
Then, of course, it's been a week, so I have to remind you about it. It's time nearly for the 17th of September,
there it is.
where we've got our live show. It's the High Rollers live show at the Adelphi Theatre in London. That's a real West End theatre. Who's going to be on it? These chumps.
Yeah.
We're going to try and make it a really, really fun show. We've got some fun stuff planned. There are still tickets available. No VIP tickets, but still plenty of great seats if you'd like to come. I think we're up to about 850. We want to get it above 1,000. So what you need to do is you need to go tell your friends, lie to them, and say, you won't believe it, it's a secret Taylor Swift concert at the Adelphi Theatre, but it's been
right.
disguised as a D&D show.
High Rollers Live is now part of the Eras tour.
Wink, wink.
Going to the Eras tour.
Wink.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to the Eras
No,
tour,
I
Katie,
can't.
at the
September,
Adelphi
yeah.
Theatre, 17th of September. But we'd love to see us get a load of people.
72 days remain.
Don't.
No, stop
For real.
that.
Bum, bum,
No.
72 days.
Yeah, according to Kirsten in the chat.
there
Kirsten,
you go.
stop that. You're scaring me.
Yeah.
So come and see us. We'd love to see you. It's also going to be an amazing, that's 850 High Rollers fans all in London at the same time.
Yeah.
People are arranging little meetups in the park. We've got some people doing cosplay shoots. We've got people meeting up in bar. We can't wait to see it. We're really excited to see everybody. So it's a great chance to come on down. So if you can, if you're abroad and you want to fly over, maybe you fancy a little trip in the UK while you're at it, come make a show of it.
Weather not guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
Weather
Although
not
it's a
guaranteed.
very good point. Do not anger the Swifties.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we don't want to get cancelled.
No.
by Swift.
We're not. We're
Sorry.
not.
I lied,
Anyway.
okay? I'll admit it. I lied. Taylor Swift's not going to be there. It's not a secret.
Play one of her
We're a
songs.
fan,
Could
Play
be.
one of her songs.
Could we?
No.
No.
I don't know about.
I will do a
but I'm
cover
feeling 22.
of. I'll do a cover of a Taylor
Yeah.
Swift song as an apology.
Also, we could get her there. She'll just use her fucking
Yes,
private jet
we-
anyway.
I want to put this out into the
invite
universe
her.
right now. On me, Sam. Taylor Swift, if you've ever wanted to play D&D and you're in the UK on the 17th of September, we got room for a guest. We'd love to have you. We'll teach you to play. You come and play D&D with us. It'll be a great time, I promise.
Hey, T-Swift?
love it.
Bracelet.
Hey, T-Swift.
Hey, T-Swiz?
Hey,
We
hey,
can't pay you
Tay-Tay.
anything. There's no talent fee.
There's no
It's not,
pay.
you know.
You'd get the gift of learning a great game.
gift
That's
of
the payment.
friendship.
Yeah, the gift of friendship. That's your reward for this mighty quest. Right. One more thing, just one very quick thing before we go on. This is a very self-indulgent personal thing. I just wanted to do a very personal shout out to the amazing team who ran the Odysseus LARP, which I was just at. It was amazing, and the team worked super hard on it. And I know how much effort and work it takes. And a few of them, I've been told, do watch the show. So thank you very much, amazing team. So thank you for that. I genuinely had probably one of the best experiences of my life.
He's been talking about it for like a long time.
Yeah, not sponsored, just adored.
Not sponsored, just
yeah.
adored it. I am going to do a YouTube video on it as well, so I'm going to do a video on it and talking all about it. So, but yeah, that was just a little personal thing for me. That is it for the announcements, which means we're going to run the intro. I've got a long ass recap, and then we're going to jump straight into today's episode.
A long ass. He's got
I got
long
a
ass.
long. Hello and welcome back to Altheya, the Dragon Empire. It has been a few days since Tobias Leto and several key members of the Lamplighters Guild enacted a terrible plot to use Ashen Rest and the people within it as a way to give a powerful demon called Balascore the Phosphorus a way to manifest itself in the material plane. Trapping the town in a barrier of demonic magic channeled through the huge magical everlights installed into the town's watchtowers, and then feeding off the negative emotions of those within, the demons nearly succeeded in breaching the planar wards that prevent them from entering the material plane in such vast numbers. It was the actions of our heroes who raced across the town, saving a few allies along the way, and fought an epic battle against one of Balascore's powerful lieutenants to stop the artificer, Morris Goldsight, from fixing the malfunctioning Everlight and completing the ritual. As time nearly ran out, Daisy revealed herself to wield incredible celestial powers and flew up to the top of the tower and destroyed the light. Though victory was not entirely without a price, Duke Ignarius, his mind warped by the demon and Tobias, injured his own daughter, Lady Emberissa, in her draconic form, and the High Authoriter, Eramina Willithorn, was killed. Ilkara Sunsword, the former priestess of Pyrrhus, who was revealed to be working with the Lamplighters, was corrupted by the demonic influence and escaped the town with several zealous followers similarly corrupted. 3 days have passed since these events, and the people of Ashen Rest are busy at work repairing the damage of the battle, and our heroes have had ample chance to rest and recover. Today is the last day of Stormfall. Tomorrow is the first day of Bronzeglow and Saint Misara's Day, a festival to celebrate the divine saint of the forge, magic, and artisans. And as is tradition in the Dragon Empire, a grand tournament is to be held as part of the festivities, with knights from around Cauldra and Ilmira expected to attend, and the people of Ashen Rest keen to celebrate and forget the horrors of the Lamplighters' plot. And that, my friends, is where we pick things back up today. It has been 3 days since the battle at the Watchtower, which means you can all long rest, make sure you get all of your... You can take multiple long rests to make sure your hit dice all go back up to full. Any items that have things like charges or anything like that, all of that gets fully refreshed.
Nice. I am fully rested.
Yes,
Yeah.
and although it may not
great.
come up, we always have to do it. Let us do our Crucible of Fate rolls today.
Okie dokie.
6.
5.
A 6, a 5, 2 for you so far.
A 1.
A 1 for me.
2.
A 1 for me.
Perfect.
And then finally, Rhiannon can witness A 4. That's a dice for you.
There is no trot today,
There's
so
no trot today, so we don't roll for
just
him.
a 3 for us. 3 on our
You
favour.
usually put them on the other side.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Thank
messed
you.
up.
It was messing me up.
But yeah, we might.
It might come up if you make ability checks and stuff like that, or if there are some. If you guys roll 1s on things, I might spend them to do some complications or something like that.
Oh yeah.
As a brief reminder, and just on some sort of housekeeping-y bits, it has been 3 days. Tyrea, the spirit that inhabits the inn that you have been gifted as part of your Duke's favour that you had before all of this Lamplighters business happens. You have noticed that in the last day or so, she is becoming a little bit more unstable. There is probably not too much more time before she will resort to her haunting and sort of the sort of not malicious, but sort of more aggressive spirit that she was. Like, she's been calmed for several days now. That is a thing. Still fine for now, but just definitely you've noticed perhaps a little bit more unstable in her appearances. You were given 5,000 gold by Duke Ignaris as a reward for helping save Ashen Rest. You are also regarded as heroes, as champions of North Vale, and this is part of a renown or a reputation system, which means that in this part of Cauldre, which is the province you're in North Vale, which encompasses the northern section of Cauldre, you are well known as heroes, and that reputation will, if you introduce yourselves by your characters' names or as a group, that reputation will precede you, and will have benefits, or maybe also have problems from time to time, but will also have lots of benefits.
Kelskaris is beyond that reach, isn't it?
Yes, Kelskaris is kind of its own province that's at the heart of the Empire.
Yeah, but it's just north of North
But
Vale.
the way the reputations work is there probably would be, people in Kelskaris probably will have at least heard of you more than before this all happened. Like, news will spread and travel.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's handled by a group called the Clarion, who are like a traveling... kind of like town criers, but they travel town to town and spread news and things like that. They also work with print media to publish newspapers and things like that as well. So they will probably spread word of the events that took place here.
Big dome.
Yes, big dome, big hero, big save.
Good time.
Yeah. The inn that you are in, the formerly known as the Enticing Devil, is still in pretty bad repair. Like, staying here is not the most comfortable rest in the world. It is still pretty ramshackle and things like that. But you do now have funds and everything else. But yeah, this is probably going to be a bit of an interlude episode. This is probably going to be a bit of catch up, figure things out, spend some money, go see some NPCs, do that kind of stuff. And I suspect next week we will probably jump in, or basically as soon as we go roll into the next day, the tournament and the festival of St. Lazarus Day. Festival of the Forge will begin.
So what, just as a sort of, after the battle and everything that happened, what happened to the Pharos?
The tower, there were, so you would find out over the next few days, because there's a lot of work being done by the soldiers to make the city safe, to rescue things, but you would be kept informed of things, probably by Zaron Tekis and the Duke himself, and the Lord Marshal. There were still Lamplighters who weren't part of the plot, who did manage to survive. A lot of them were killed by Tobias's sort of faction within. Some of them did survive. The Pharos as a tower has basically being cleared out, and the Duke is deciding what to do with it.
Okay.
It is quite a large and impressive building. There is a lot of petitions, like some of the guilds want to use it. Things like guilds like the blacksmiths and things like that want to take over it.
How about a small group of heroes who currently have a haunted inn? Could they have it?
Possibly,
big tower.
It would be a very big tower for you guys to operate from.
You know what it could be used as? Big old tower for someone who's about to found a religion.
That is a huge tower to be gifted.
Could you imagine?
It's like being gifted a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though?
I can imagine it.
It's like
for
the
sure.
tallest one as well, except for the Dominus Ignorum, right?
Basically, Dominus Ignorum is equal, just it's a tiny bit taller. But that's because it's also on a massive hill, the Dominus Ignorum, the Duke's Palace.
So has the entirety of the Lamplighters Guild just been completely like dissolved now?
So it has been dissolved, yes. So the actual Lamplighters Guild, as it was, has been formally dissolved by the Duke and by the edicts of the Church of the Scions after Ilkara has been sort of kicked out and excommunicated. You have heard that there is a new Sun Sword who will be coming to take over Ilkara's position.
Okay.
Likewise, a new High Authority will be assigned to Ashen Rest as well.
Right.
Zaron Tekis is not experienced enough to take on that role. So you have heard that there will be a new High Authority and a new Sun Sword will be sent.
Okay.
But the Lamplighters Guild has been, completely dissolved. There is talk amongst the guilds and with the Duke of whether they want to form like a new Tinkers Guild that will take some of the surviving members who were loyal, people like Teresa Lavendale, who you met, and offer them, or if it's rolled into being part of the Blacksmiths Guild. It might also just become part of the Blacksmiths Guild.
Okay.
What happened as well to Obsidius?
Obsidius was, you would find out that was helping fight against his father during the battle. He was, he was basically channeling spells to try and like slow his father down. And then that's when they broke away and Emberissa had to come and join the fight, which you guys witnessed. Emberissa shielding you to protect them. Obsidius was basically trying to channel magic to try and lock his father down or something like that. And that's what happened. He is fine. He is uninjured, but he was temporarily out of the fight while he was doing that. Not much has been seen of late. Lady Emberissa has not been seen since the attack. She has been sort of secluded away of her own volition. She has not chosen to come out and be part of the public celebrations just yet. The last you remember seeing of her, that wound was quite significant.
Yeah, because we saw her when we spoke to the Duke. It's like a celebration thing, I guess, or not a private thing.
It was, you guys had a private chat with you. There was also like a bit of a sort of medal ceremony and like remembering the falling ceremony immediately after.
Yeah.
But since then, she has not really been seen.
Okay. I guess for Xanthias...
And if there are any questions about those 3 days that you guys... We've been assuming that, like, you guys were pretty exhausted from the events that led up to that, so you've taken several days to rest, recuperate, probably fix, like, help around the town, like, help your allies, do things like that.
Yeah, I guess with what energy is available, I would probably attempt to assist with... I imagine the lamps are being, like, dismantled and replaced with lanterns and things. Like, if there is anyone that's... Because I guess... I knew maybe not as much as Obsidius or anyone like that, but quite a lot about the actual devices and... Yeah,
I imagine that, like, because there was work put into the infrastructure of the lights, because there was a lot of them around, the idea is that they're checking all of the lights are being dismantled to remove any of those discs that you had, the planar discs. But the actual lights themselves, they're being replaced with, like, more mundane lanterns now. Like, just, like, the same light stand is staying, and they're just going to make a sort of traditional lantern in there now.
Okay.
Not a magical light.
But I think if that's kind of what I would do to assist the town in any time that I have. But also, I think for Xanthias, in that battle at the end, there was some sort of strategies or feelings that he was having that weren't quite his own, especially when, like, that one little shitty guy tried to command Xanthias, and he was like, you ain't shit, you're nothing to me, and things like that. And he's still kind of like coming to terms with those emotions and feelings, but also, I suppose, like, it's been 3 days. Is anything going on with that arm, or need anything else?
Give me a medicine roll. Medicine or Arcana. So I'll let you make the choice. Medicine will be more like, can you see a physical, like, has the corruption spread? You know, are there any, like, is there pain? Can you feel anything? Arcana will be to see if there's any change in the magical nature of the arm.
I think for now it would just be medicine, because that's probably the more concerning thing. Okay. At least for me now. But yeah, medicine, let's see, 17.
17. You definitely spend some time, and this is something that maybe you're doing over like several days. This isn't like one look.
Yeah, just checking it every now and then. Just, you know.
You can determine that there is a kind of slow progression rate. It has slowed down, but it is always ever so slightly growing almost every day.
Okay.
But the rate is slow enough. With a 17, you suspect that, like, you know, within about 10 days, it will probably be up to your shoulder. But, you know.
Okay, but that will look cool as hell, though, right?
It will look cool as hell, and like it's a very like
so that's good.
Yeah, it will take time to do that, and like I said, like 10 days you're looking at.
Okay, but nothing else is shifted. Like
nothing that you
I don't
can
suddenly
see. Like
have-
you check the rest of your body,
Yeah.
you can't see anything else.
okay, good,
Yeah,
nice. But that'd be I would be mindful of that for me
Sure.
anyway. But
yeah.
that's at least what I'd be doing.
Yeah, and like when you look at the arm, there is definitely, you know, this isn't just like a skin condition. This is like those veins of almost like lava and fire. Mm-hmm. There is like movement, almost like it is flowing lava. Like this is like there is something innately magical about this arm now. This is not just your body or flesh. Like this is something more than that. There is, you know, your vein, whether it's your veins, they're not blood anymore. There is something else running through that hand.
Cool.
And it tinges with power. Like, you can sense immense power. Like, not necessarily strength in the grip, but just a sort of, yeah, like a magical strength, a magical power.
Okay, I'm into that.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds terrible, but I mean, yeah, you know,
Sure.
I'll surrender.
Okay.
Take me. Nice.
It's not my time yet.
What about anybody else? Like,
That's just personal.
I know from and like this is the perfect time for it, right? Trot's basically given me like the thing of he is doing anything he can to help other people. He's probably doing a lot of like helping clear debris. He's probably helping a lot at Latte Fund to like rebuild it, like the damage that the actual cafe took. He's probably like, you know, hammering nails and sort of helping. Hello, I'm just repairing the roof today and things like that.
He's down at the Clever Toad as well, and it's
Probably checking in on the Clever Toad and things.
Is the
got
toad
5K
okay?
to spend.
Toad was okay.
It took some damage, like the actual inn itself took some damage, but none of the
Toad
kobolds were
itself.
hurt. There was definitely, you would go down there and hear from the Tarek family that there were demons that attacked, but they fought them off. Them and their locals, their kind of regular customers, all huddled together.
and the big boy.
Well, yeah, but yeah, he was instrumental in sort of the boulder. He was instrumental in kind of like keeping it protected, basically. He was killing demons that came in and throwing them out and stuff like that. He's a pretty powerful fighter, so.
Such a good boy.
Yeah. Anything from anybody else?
I think Ophelia would stay at the inn for a little bit, just to help calm Tyria down,
Okay.
but to also look at building some kind of shrine to the Greyfather, clearing out that back.
Yeah, so basically it's part of, you've got the main inn building, and it's the whole area, the whole land that you own is like fenced off. So you have like the inn building, quite a large back garden, and then there is a kind of what would have been once been like a storehouse or like a shed, but it's quite large, you know, it's about 20 feet wide, about 20 feet deep. So it's a good size for a shrine, basically. It is stone foundations, and then it has wood walls and a sort of clay roof. But yeah, it could absolutely be purposed as a shrine. What kind of shrine are you thinking? Because it will take some money, right? Like you will probably need to hire, like if you want an altar,
Yeah.
you need like a mason, and you're going to need to have like a statue or like a piece of jewelry, like something to act as a channel, like a holy symbol. What does this look like for Ophelia?
So Ophelia already.
I'm gonna make some notes as well.
She travels around with a little Greyfather figurine that she prays to anyway on the road. So maybe just she'd hire a stonemason to look at carving a bigger version to sit in like a stone, or like a stone plinth almost, sort of with like an arch of like gothically carved intricate patterns and flowers and roses on vines spiraling up.
So around the statue, almost
Yeah.
on like an altar base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like candlelight holders and maybe some like seats, you know, just for future plans. Like maybe there'll be some.
Are we like wooden pews, or what are we talking here?
Maybe starting with like stools dotted around, like
Okay.
maybe like 3 or 4 just little wooden stools for now.
Yep. And then
big
some
is this?
candle holders and things like that.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
That big.
The outbuilding.
Yeah, building.
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's about 20 feet by 20 feet.
Okay.
So it's sizable.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, it's you could definitely have like
Not a
people in
full
there.
church thing,
It's not
but
a
yeah.
full church, but you could
Still.
have like, you know, probably, yeah, you could have a good group of people in there, like a small group, basically.
I also imagine this place is already like overgrown and stuff, and no people
Yeah,
looks
it is.
like,
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
There it
There
is.
are windows, so there's like holes for
Nice.
windows, but they're all broken. Like the other ones, like in the main inn, they would have once held. Like these ones are just wooden shutters; they wouldn't have had any glass in them. But looking at them, and again, this is maybe something for the future. You could have those windows expanded, and then have like stained glass or something put into them and things like that. Again, that's probably going to be looking at some cost and things like that
Yeah,
for the
maybe
future.
for now, if Ophelia would get some like nice velvet red curtains to hang over the windows for now, just to create some nice ambiance.
Yeah, I love that. All right. Well, it's pretty easy. You guys have access to the Stonemasons Guild here, and you've gone and spoken with them before, and it doesn't take too much effort to go down there. And the way that they work is you put in a work order, and then they basically, masons who are members of the guild can pitch for them to take on the job, and they offer lower prices, kind of like Uber, but for artisans. Like they basically are like putting in lower and lower offers, and you get approached by several. You get a few different options. There is a very talented halfling mason who offers to do it. Her name is her name is Halia. Halia Sutton. She's a stonemason, but she's quite pricey. So for the statue and the altar and everything else, but you know, she comes to you with scribbles like, "Well, Sister Ophelia, I would imagine that we could work with this, and also I have a unique way of we can incorporate glass gemstones and things like that. But it will cost you. It depends. Like she gives you an option of like she can do something very simple for 200 gold, or for 500 gold you can have a very elaborate, beautiful shrine. There will be a tangible benefit the more money you spend.
500.
You have to pass it through the group.
Group. Hello.
Hi, Ophelia.
Hi.
Hi.
So,
Oh,
after
no.
everything that's happened and the illustrious draconic majesty that is Duke Ignarius has granted me permission to preach the House of Blood's teachings in Ashen's Rest, would you permit me so kindly
How much?
500 gold for a little shrine?
Bloody hell.
A little shrine?
A little one
Where?
in the outbuilding
Oh, that makes sense.
with some stools and so I can teach in comfort.
Is this to clean the entire building up as well? Windows?
On my
Doors?
own goodness, no.
Not on your own, of course not. But
This is just for the shrine.
for the shrine itself?
Yeah, I will say that will include what Halia will do is they'll make stone seating with like cushions on it. So it will be basically this is like a good tier shrine encompassed in one package.
Yeah.
This is the altar you're paying for,
It's a
but
bundle.
you get some nice features. You get the candle holders and all of that kind of thrown in as well.
You'll have seating and candle holders. It won't just be the stone carving altar itself. It'll be a nice space.
It's worth keeping in mind if you are planning on bringing people back here to worship the Gravefather or whatever it is you want to use it for, Tyria is still... That problem is not quite resolved yet, and that area is still Tyria's.
Oh, yes, well, I can ask her.
Yeah? You do have good contact with her, at least.
Yeah, I could see if she'd be okay with me doing that.
I think we intend to restore this place anyway, right? No? You shrugged, Gruff.
Well, yeah, but we can't do it until we make sure that Tyria is at rest, because otherwise she'll break all the windows again, and that's really kind of a waste of money.
That's true. You're not putting windows in,
Are
are
they
you?
putting windows in yet? No.
Okay.
No
Curtains.
reflections.
Curtains.
No.
No windows.
But,
It's still her place, so I don't want to annoy her.
no, I think it's what we intend to do with the place. I've got no plans for that building out there,
Wonderful.
so I don't see why not. We have how much from Duke Ignarius?
5,000.
I think it's a very good idea.
I didn't have money for
I
nice
love
things
stone.
growing up.
I knew you'd approve.
Oh, that's Rowan, I see. Okay.
Who did you think that was?
I don't know.
Who else speaks like this?
There was a second where I was like, Percival can fucking speak now.
Sadly, my Chris Try impression obviously is not like this.
Well,
He can get really baritone.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very deep down here.
Wasn't someone like, is that not hurting his voice? But no, he's just got a really deep voice
he's
anyway.
chill with it. I don't see why not. If it will make you happy,
It'll make you very happy. And the Greyfather, of course.
as long as we need to, I mean, we still need to total up how much we can
Gruff's
actually
making
spend.
faces.
I'm not making faces, that's my regular face.
He's
You
concerned.
did make a bit of a face.
It's just, I don't know. It just feels a little bit blasphemous to me. Just a little bit.
Well, but Duke Ignarius has allowed...
I know. But then also, the church that I've been following my whole life has wrought this upon us. Well, no, not the whole church,
no, it's
just one person.
Yes. Just one bad egg.
I'm just having a bit of a religious quandary right now. So,
Well, would you... I mean... we
Don't pitch the grapefruit. Not right now. Ophelia, no. Not yet.
I don't think I'm quite on that level yet.
Well, my door's always open.
Yes, I
Oh
can
gosh. Oh gosh. That would have been a crisis. Oh gosh. She's going to pitch the greyfeather to Gruff.
I'm into it.
What would that pitch be like? No, I don't want to hear it.
Oh.
I do want to hear it.
Oh, you do?
No, I don't want to hear it.
Well, he did save all of humanity.
Did he now?
Yes.
Did he really?
And he granted humanity the gift of necromancy.
Is that a gift?
Oh, it's why I'm here. And I'm quite a gift. Aren't I?
You are quite
You are a
gift,
gift.
yes.
You are very lovely.
Why, thank
but,
you.
Nope, still terrifying. Walking Dead. Terrifying. Scary.
Do you have passions, Gruff?
Yeah, right now.
But creative passions.
Oh.
What do you like to do?
Fishing.
Fishing, lovely, lovely. Besides fishing, do you like to sing, dance, music, art?
No, that's my wife. My wife is the storyteller of the village.
Oh,
Why, I fell in love with her. Oh, she can tell a story.
oh! Tell more. I love stories.
Oh, see, in the evening when it's cold and we've all done our day's work, we gather in the central building of the village, get a big fire going, get the food, get the drink, and everyone comes together and we have storytellers who fill the night with stories.
Oh, wonderful.
And she's the best storyteller I've ever met.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
When she speaks and she tells a yarn, it's like you're there.
What's her name?
Good question.
Does Gruff say that?
No, I don't believe Gruff
No,
says that.
Kim says that. It's been a day. Her name is Gerwin.
Gerwin.
Yeah, Gerwin.
Can you spell that for the crowd?
What's a
Ceridwen. Apologies to Welsh people in advance.
C-E-R-
Ceridwen.
Ceridwen.
Yeah. I may have said it a bit janky, but this is Fantasy Wales.
It's not Welsh. It's
Fantasy.
Ice Heart dialect.
Exactly.
Ice Heart. That was Ice Heart.
Yeah.
Ice Heartian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's actually.
You're welcome, Wikipedia.
I think that, like, because you have brought in some of the Welsh and Cornish stuff like that, a lot of the Elven stuff in the Feywild draws a little bit from Welsh as well. So I have this idea that, like, somebody, when they were founding Ice Heart as its own province, the Archdragon, whatever, or the people there, maybe they had some contact with the Feywild already established. Like, they found, like, a natural Fey portal and, like, they had spoken with, like, you know, people that, like, lived on the ice, probably, like, elves, like, you know, wintry elves from the Fey realm or something like that.
Past.
Yeah, something like that. And so some of the you know, elven elements kind of flow in and have merged into the local dialect.
Yeah, that's
In the same way that, like, yeah, like, Cauldron definitely has some inspirations from, like, real-worldy kind of places as well, but it's not those. It's not fantasy Italy. It's, like, you know, its own flavour of things, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Never apologise. You're not doing it. You're not doing a Welsh accent. You're doing a gruff accent.
It's you're
Carried when.
Carried when.
Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful. What a stunning name.
Thank you. She's a stunning woman.
When we go to Iceheart, you must introduce me to her. I must hear one of her stories.
Oh, she'd love to meet you all. She'd love to hear your stories as well.
Oh, I'd love to meet her. Oh, she sounds wonderful.
You know, Ophelia, that's one of the things about you. You're very charming. And I really... It did not sit well with me, the way members of the church treated you recently and speak of you. It really didn't.
Oh.
And I want you to know that even though I've been brought up with the Church of the Scions and all that, I really disagree with the way they speak to you.
Oh, Gruff.
You sacrificed your life for this town. And they still spoke of you as if you were some abomination. Okay, some of your ideas are a bit strange and maybe a little bit blasphemous. But in a way, you gave more to this place than some of them did. And Ilkara Sunsword, she put innocent lives in danger, and that is not by the tenets of the Saints and the Scions.
Would you like to bring her to justice?
I would. She put a lot of innocence in danger. And I understand what she was trying to do. I understand that she was, we need to be more righteous, we need to be more faithful and all that, but bloody hell, like, not by summoning demon, making pacts with demons.
No.
Putting this town in danger. You died because of it. That's not right.
And you are more noble than anyone I've ever met. You gave your energy to me when I fell. You've proven yourself time and time again that you are more than what you say you are. You are a knight.
Not yet.
But you are, Gruff. You have the virtue. You always have. The bravery, the strength, the heart. We all believe in you, Gruff. And if you want, whatever you want to do, if you want to go after Ilkara, if you want to fight in this tourney, we will help you achieve your goals, because you have been there for us since the beginning, and you have proven yourself many times that you're willing to stand up for us, even though we haven't even known each other for that long. You've given so much of yourself to all of us, so let me repay the favor to you.
Oh, Sister Ophelia, I should be the one making vows to you if I'm a knight. But I thank you. I'm also going to go in the other room now because I'm going to cry.
I'm gonna cry.
Before you do, I think a big hug.
Oh, here we go.
Daisy's sitting looking at the both. Like Daisy's been sitting on a bench, looking between Gruff and Ophelia, just the whole time, just going.
I'm kind of watching it as well, just enjoying it.
Percival was bringing around jugs of water, by the way.
Oh, that's what that was.
Percival has like got clay jugs and is like bringing and filling up people's water. So, beautiful roleplay aside, do we give Ophelia the thumbs up on monies?
Well, I think after that...
She's earned the 500.
It works, Rhiannon. Good job.
Mr. Burns, excellent.
Yeah, excellent. Well, if somebody can mark off, or whoever is looking after your fortune.
Gruff has it.
I didn't put it in, but I can put it in.
I guess
feel
you
like
won't have it in your inventory because we kind of
we didn't
withdraw
do
this
it,
much.
yeah.
It's the Duke will provide you money as you win, or you can basically because it's the Duke's money, right?
Right.
You can basically give a promissory note to the Mason of like, basically you're writing a check, fantasy check of like, hello Stonemason, the Duke will pay you 500 gold, go cash that in.
I feel like we just need to track that.
I'll track it.
Do you
Yeah, just basically give yourself 5,000 gold, but you're not counting 5,000.
I'll give us 4,500 since someone wants her fancy church.
Alrighty.
Fancy
It will take a few days to build. Like they'll have to go and make it, Ophelia. I will have a think about the effect it will have, but I've got some ideas. I'm thinking something along the lines of, if you pray, I guess it would be at night for you, you would have to do a prayer at night. If you pray to the Grave Father at this place, you will gain a benefit for the next 24 hours. Cool. And what I'm thinking I'll do is, the more people who pray with you, the more powerful an effect maybe you get. So if you can, but they have to be true believers. They have to be people that commit themselves to and are dedicated to the Grave Father, basically.
Nice.
But there'll be some sort of cool effect where you'll get power.
Red curtains are a nice touch as well, because I'm guessing at night, like the moonlight, the inside of that room is just going to be red.
It's Castlevania.
Yeah.
Just like picture a scene from Castlevania. That's what
Every time there's Ophelia stuff, I'm like, Castlevania.
Yeah.
That's all.
But yeah. All right.
And how's Ophelia's hunger looking as well?
Well, you fed because you used veracity, but you fought demons, didn't you?
Yeah.
You fed on the demon, which is not quite the same thing.
So veracity still counts for you in terms of just, okay.
Veracity is basically the equivalent, you are feeding through it, basically.
It's a straw.
But it's interesting because you have fed, but it's interesting for you, Ophelia, because when you drained the demons, when you would use that attack on the demons, you weren't drinking blood, but you were definitely feeding on essence, on energy, and it gave you this incredible feeling of strength. But it's not satiated you. You don't need to feed, but it's like somebody who's like, you're not thirsty, but you really miss the taste of like a fresh Coca-Cola, or like
Not sponsored.
or like you're not thirsty, but you'd love a beer, or like, I'm really craving a hot dog, even though you've just eaten. It's that kind of feeling of like, you don't need to eat, but you haven't had fresh blood in a while. So yeah, it's definitely there, but not detrimental because you have fed. Also, do you have a track of how much blood Veracity has drank?
I think I'm about 30.
That sounds about right. Sounds like mine, yeah. Okay. I
think so.
Okay. Interesting.
Out of.
Okay. All right.
Yep. 108. I don't know. All right. So yeah, that will take several days to fix. Probably a couple of days. Cool. 2-3 days to have that made. It'll take some time for the stonemasons for Harlia Sutton to work on that.
Nice.
But paid for and in the works. And like I said, they'll do like little chairs and they'll do like candle holders. They'll organise with like the ironmongers to come and build candelabras and curtains and things like that.
Thank you.
All part of it.
What is the general state of the building as well now? Because I know Percival has been.
Done a lot of
He has tied it up like debris.
Okay.
So there's no longer like debris and cobwebs and things like that. Percival has been taking care of like the maintenance, like the cleaning.
Yeah.
But you still have a building which is in a pretty bad shape.
Just like broken floorboards and.
Yeah, so it is. So it's no longer dirty and dusty with broken furniture, but you still have a collapsed roof. So part of the roof is completely collapsed.
Okay.
The windows have all been broken. So it's drafty. If there's any sort of wind or ill weather, rain, it comes all in. The garden is completely overgrown. And whilst Tyrea has been under control, you know that if she loses control, that garden, is animated and will attack and cause problems as well. The rooms also, most of the furniture in the rooms, like Percival has thrown out all the old rotten straw mattresses. He's just gotten rid of them all.
Okay.
So you're looking at like bare, kind of old, crummy bed frames. There's no like good furniture left here. It was all taken basically. Anything that could be carried out and ransacked at one point. So you're basically looking at an empty shell. Right now you've got an empty shell of an old inn. With broken like roof and windows. But really you could make it into anything you wanted to. Like you could renovate it, get rid of the bar and not make it an inn. You could just make it like a big house. Or you could turn it into whatever you want, really. I do have the floor plans. If you want me to go and get them, I can go get them for you to have a think about.
We should film an episode of Cribs.
Sure. Yeah. Yo, I'm Xanthius Oregon. This is Welcome to My Crib.
Yeah, welcome. Come on in. Let's take.
Oh, there is the basement as well. Yeah.
The murder basement.
There is a murder
the
basement as
murder
well.
basement.
Or at least where a murder weapon was hidden.
No, just all basements are murder basements.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the current state of the building.
Yeah.
And I do have like the costs of like what it would take to repair the roof, what it takes to repair all the windows and things like that.
What would it take to repair the roof?
To repair the roof will take about 7 days of labor. It will cost about 300 gold of materials and about 300 gold of labor. So About 600 gold all told. The problem is now before you guys had a reputation, nobody would probably come and work on the inn because of its haunted history. Now you guys are known as heroes, and people are coming in and have seen that the ghost hasn't been around. You probably could convince people to come and start working on it. But if Tyria becomes unstable and attacks them whilst working on it, it will then
as well,
I will double the cost of labor, basically. Because they will basically demand danger pay, and also it will be harder to get people to come and do it.
Is the only way for us to deal with Tyria is to go and get her husband, isn't it? Or is there
simply lay her to rest, however you think that is to be accomplished.
That was the first sort of thing. Or that we thought was the idea. But even then, we didn't actually have a plan of what we would do when we find.
And it might just not be one thing. It might be you have to do, you don't know.
Yeah, because the task is lay her to rest. It's not necessarily solve her murder. It's
We just give it to the House of Shadows.
No.
That, I will say, that is an alternative option. If Tyria's spirit can be convinced to go to the Greylands and become a banshee in the service of the Gravefather, that would remove her from the material plane. She would be bound to the Greylands, and she would no longer be present in the material plane. That is also an option.
I feel like Ophelia's yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's an interesting option. But
Kavon is in Kelskaris.
that's a big quest.
You believe.
We think.
We don't
The
know.
guards saw them. Well,
You have your notes. I'm not,
Someone, they don't know where he went because nobody checked up that he arrived.
no.
Yeah,
but
technically Gruff doesn't know because he was away when you guys went to speak to Gavin Sayer, and I never got to have a catch-up conversation with you guys because lots of stuff exploded.
Three days have happened. If you want to basically assume that you guys are all brought up to speed on this stuff, you absolutely can do.
In which case, Kim needs to be brought up on speed because I have a big blank spot in my notepad where I put it down. It was episode 18, the Gate Guard Sergeant Gavin Sayer. That's all I got.
So
I've got all my notes right here.
Oh, are you sure?
Well, no.
Just give me your laptop.
No.
apparently people saw her leaving with a pack to go to Kelskaris. But she was calm.
already.
Oh wait, no, it was him. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oddly calm. Human would be in his 50s by now. Dark brown hair, beard, handsome back in the day. Didn't look like he had enough with him to get to Kelskaris because it was quite a distance away.
It's about a week's travel from here.
There is a town nearby, Hearth, that he maybe could have gone to a nearby town, but he left through the north gate, so he would have had to have gone around. There's another small village nearby, but it's deep in the woods. So, yeah, there's a lot of small villages not on the map that he could have gone to instead of going to Kelskaris. And I've got a sketch of Kavon.
Well, because you directly spoke with Tyria, didn't you? You could
I spoke
telepathically.
with Tyria, but I also spoke with the guard who gave me a description of
And you
what
did
he
it, and that's
saw.
right. And you did a really good sketch of
yeah.
Kavon, yeah. So I would say that with that sketch, and also with your conversations with Tyria, you have a fairly good idea, Daisy, that if you see Kavon, you'll recognize them.
Yeah.
But the others won't just recognize him by sight, like, you know.
But I've got my sketch.
Oh, you've got your sketch, yeah. I'd say
I
that.
could show them.
Yeah, sure. In that case,
show everybody the sketch.
Yeah.
But I.
So at this point, you're all fairly confident that if you were to see Kavon, you would recognize him.
Yeah, but we've just got no idea where they might have headed to.
Yeah.
Okay, and outside of that, we still need the tournament because you've got a tournament.
But yeah, that's.
Bloody yes, we do as well. I'm not ready. I don't even know. What do you do? Fight? Not fight?
You tell me.
Why don't we go and ask Sir Green?
How often are these tournaments yearly?
I can tell you a bit about the tournaments. Yeah, so they're not yearly. Generally, tournaments, the size of the tournament matters, right?
Okay.
A big tournament maybe happens once a year, but smaller tournaments will happen pretty much on any festival or holy day, because it is kind of, there are no like public holidays. There's no bank holidays or summer holidays for like people in Elmira. So the only time that they really get time off, like working the fields or working their shops, is these like holy festivals and stuff. Or certain national events like coronation, like the coronation of the Empress, like that is, or like the recognition of the Empress, the founding of the Empire. That's a national holiday. The death of the Empress is now registered as a kind of public day of mourning across the Empire. But yeah, these tournaments happen almost, not quite every month, but like close enough.
Yeah.
Like for example, in Bronze Glow, there are actually 2 holy days, so there will be 2 tournaments. Saint Misara's is probably going to be bigger. The next one will probably be a much smaller local tournament.
Okay, but it is something that we know the arrangement of it, or potentially, I guess, would me and Daisy in Cauldron?
I would say that like Xanthius and Daisy probably would know the most. Gruff would know just because you've listened to stories, right? Iceheart probably don't have. You would have to go to the capital for the capital city would have a tournament arena, but that's probably the only place where they would have an actual tournament. Down here in Cauldron, they're very traditional. They are like classic competitions. They tend to be split over multiple days. So this one is 2 days. So it'll be tomorrow and then the day after. And there are normally different categories. So you can go in as like a single combatant, and normally it's based on the weapon. So it's like swords, two-handed weapon, sword and shield, or single-handed weapon and shield. There are normally archery competitions as well, like for archers. There will be a magical duel, because knights aren't just like knights in armor. A knight can be a mage, a knight can be a ranger, a knight can be an archer, or whatever it is.
Okay.
There will also be a joust on drakes. There'll be a drake's joust. So like a proper like old school joust, but not horses, basically. And then there is also in larger tournaments, which is going to be the case for this one, there will be team battles as well. So there's a battle where you can sign up as a team, and you fight against another team of knights, basically.
No biting, Sir Griold.
Yeah.
I can't promise anything.
And generally the aim is in a tournament is winning is good. Like if you can win and prove you're the best at a certain style of fighting, or you're the best jouster, obviously that earns you acclaim and notoriety. But it's also how you conduct yourself as well. Like it is a chance for knights to see recruits, people that they want to recruit into knightly orders. It's a chance for draconic nobles to see people they wish to offer favors and opportunities to as well. So it is as much about how you conduct yourself, how you present yourself as well.
So incinerating someone with crown steel.
Probably not a good idea.
Not a great impression,
not a good look.
really.
Something that Daisy and Xanthius would know, and again, I know it came up with the party, but for example, like if Gruff turns up wearing like tatty hide leathers and things like that, he's going to be looked on quite unfavorably. This is a Cauldron tournament, so how you look is as important as how you conduct yourself and how you fight.
With the outfit that we had made for the audience, that
would be fine, because that was like a social, like you were going to a Duke's attendance, right? That is like a formal party wear outfit. Your armor, your hide armor, you wear like scraps of leather and fur as your armor. My
wife lovingly made those. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
I was gonna say, like, in the 3 days of downtime, I think there's 3 things that Gruff would do. 4 things that Gruff would do. Well, he'd fuss over the team. He'd fuss over everybody, make sure they're all right. They're getting enough sleep and they're getting enough food. He'd go fishing, and he'd also probably go to the forge to look at some kind of training, or ask Sir Griold what is expected in a tournament, and because he's very insecure about his fighting ability in this. He knows how to fight in the wild, as it were, but he doesn't know anything about this kind of thing. And then he'd probably hang outside of Dante's, the really fancy
the armory, the shop,
shop, but still just hang out outside and just really nervously keep looking at all the stuff.
Okay.
Taking a step towards the door.
Well,
going back out.
Let's do that first, because the training stuff with Sir Griold, I think we can sum that stuff up. But we can sum it. We'll do a little bit, but we can sum that up as well. But with Dante's, which is, as you rightly put it, is on the main square. So it's number 9, I believe. It's like on the map. Is like one of the main buildings. Yeah, it is an illustrious store. You can see the window is full of these ornate, beautifully made suits of like plate armor and a little bit of leather and things like that as well, but primarily metal. You can see beautiful swords and rapiers, a few like a mace, beautifully like flanged mace, almost like an exploding sun and waves collapsing down. Everything is beautifully made. No prices, so you know it's expensive. But everything's also on plush like velvet cushions and this gorgeous draped fabric, and it's all enclosed. Like there doesn't look to be like any natural kind of light going on. Every now and then the door is blacked out with a curtain as well. So you know when the door opens, you just glance inside and you see these beautiful glass display cabinets acting as like a desk and shelf. And inside you see beautifully made daggers and stilettos and pieces like gauntlets and things like that on display. And there does seem to be another building attached to the back that does not seem to be accessible to customers, but stood behind the glass and occasionally talking to customers, you see a very finely dressed human man. He's got like a white shirt with a fine red vest dotted with gold and studded, almost like it's a piece of armor, almost like brigandine or studded leather, but it's actually just velvet and brass studs, gold studs, sorry. And he has a necklace with a piece of stone decorated with silver bands and filigree around his neck as well. And he seems to be speaking with the customers. You notice that there's no like swords on the walls to pick up or things like that. The customers just seem to be speaking to this man, and then that's it. And that's what you glance as the door shuts.
Yeah, so I think, Gruff's just gonna keep nervous, like trying to work up the courage to go in, not able to go in, come out, almost like leaves one day and then comes back the next day and is stood there again, maybe gets 2 more steps in. And I guess, maybe if like Xanthius is wandering by,
Daisy could have been going to a latte fun and just walk past with like a bag of pastries and just look at it.
You just see him doing that thing where you're hovering around a nice looking shop, like looking in and stuff.
You said you were out fishing.
I was. In the morning.
Okay.
You were snoring.
I was. Was I?
I've done it.
Pastry?
Okay. So
Thank you.
Do you want to go in?
No, yes.
Look at these. These are unbelievable.
Oh,
Let's go in. You know what? You would look so good in these. Actually, how much are these?
Xanthius and Daisy, can you both make history checks for me, please?
Yes. Can I have all of my D20s back? Thank you. History. Oh.
No.
19.
19.
Plus 0.
Xanthius, Dante's is a name you know. This is not the only shop. Dante's is the name of several shops across Cauldre. It's like a franchise, basically. Master Dante is a sort of legendary smith of Cauldron origin. Is very well known for creating absolutely stunning pieces of weapons and armor, art pieces. Most of them are Dante original, like a piece created by the original master.
Okay.
Is like a Rembrandt or something. Like it's a piece of art, right?
No.
Yeah.
And so they can go for like tens of thousands of gold pieces.
Oh
like,
my
okay.
gosh, we shouldn't be going here.
However,
This is
Master Dante is years ago, right? He's an
this
old
isn't
master.
the Dante in here now.
No. Instead, what it is Dante took on several apprentices or heirs, and they all then went off and founded their own sort of branches of Dante's. And they're all now competing to basically prove themselves as the next Dante. So they are all called something Dante. They all have the surname Dante, but none of them are the Master Dante yet. And it's not quite clear if Master Dante is still alive. I mean, he lived like hundreds of years ago. But there's still this thing of like, but is he still around? Like, that's not possible. Like, he was a human. He was a normal man. But there is this kind of like legendary element to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've probably it's a story that a cauldron like yourself, like having grown up in Rust End, and you've heard people talk about this and things like that. Probably even your family as well. Like, some of the gold dragons in Gildeye probably have a Dante original, and that would be like a piece of their hoard, would be
legacy,
it'd be like an incredible piece, to have.
I probably don't know.
No, but you've heard the name.
Yeah, you would look just resplendent in one of these, if only we had more money, of course. But no, look, please stand in front of the mirror, try and frame yourself up with that piece of armor there. See yourself in it. Can you imagine it?
It's a bit fancy for the likes of me.
Fancy, but look at yourself.
I don't think even my village, if we pooled all our money, could afford anything like this.
Well, maybe, maybe not. I mean, there's not going to be any originals in here. There's no chance, 0 chance. There's a slight chance. You should have seen the one in Kelskaris, the Dante's there. Unbelievable.
Well, we could go and look, though. There's no harm in looking. You don't have to buy things, but we could
just
look.
Right?
Yeah. Come on, come in, come
They're
in.
not going to throw us out, are they?
Why?
No. Why would they do that?
Well,
Would they do that? Would they do that?
Well, if we go in there and start smashing things to pieces, but let's not go in there and smash things to pieces.
It's that both of you said that cauldrons, they put a lot in appearance, and all my braids are out, and I'm a bit scruffy, but...
Yes, but we also put a lot of stock in people hoping to put a lot of effort into improving their appearance as well, and that's what you're aiming to do.
Also, I can fix the braids. It's fine.
The braids, that's a Daisy problem.
Okay. Right, lead.
This will be so exciting. Okay, let's go in.
Oh, no.
You first.
You guys step inside. A beautiful, rich aroma kind of hits you as you step inside. There is clearly magical music being played by some small magic item or something like that. Very soft, orchestral, ambient music kind of thing. And you step inside. You're the only customers in. Again, like all these beautiful glass cabinets, bejeweled long knives, gauntlets. You can see different weapons. There are some crossbows. You actually even see some early firearms. Like cauldrons have begun experimenting with dragon powder weapons and things like that as well. But they're like beautiful flintlock muskets with like these ornate barrels designed to look like sailing ships and waves, and then the barrel kind of pokes out of them. Like they're pieces of art as much as they are weapons. But you also see that on the walls behind like glass protectors, there are functional looking ones that aren't just pieces of art, that are just incredibly well made weapons. And some of them even look like they have strange attachments, weird guards on swords, or swords that look like they can be extended to become polearms and things like that, like pieces of technical genius mixed in with beautiful displays of artistry and weaponsmithing. The man behind the glass cabinets looks at you all, very placid looking, kind of calm face, looks dark hair pushed back, wearing this beautiful necklace, beautiful vest with this strange stone necklace. Welcome to Dante's. How may I help you today?
It is so nice to speak with you. What's your Mr. Dante, I presume?
No, good sir, no. I am Martain. I am the Armelier.
Armelier?
Yes.
Which of course means...
I am the steward of arms. It is my duty to work with our customers to provide them something that will suit their needs and purpose.
Well, we have a future knight in the making.
I am very well aware of all of you.
Yes,
the Heroes of Ashen Rest. I am very honoured. I will have to let Mistress Dante know that we have had such prestigious guests arrive and to peruse her wonders.
Well, of course, you know about the tournament happening soon. We
of course, indeed.
Hope to make our presence known in the most extravagant way possible, and who better than Dante?
Well, indeed, Mistress Dante is very eager to show off. I believe that she has worked with some of our Knights of the Realm and some other knights to have her wares on display. Of course, the Festival of the Forge is an opportunity not just for our knights to prove themselves, but for many of the eager smiths and armourers of the town to also show off their talents. What better way than to show one's weapons and armor off than to see them in action, of course. And you are looking, I believe, Gruffith, your name to be, I've heard around the town.
Oh, this is very strange. No one ever knows my name before. Yes, Gruffith of Tremoro.
Gruffith of Tremoro, Martain the Armelier.
Honoured to meet you.
Indeed. Now, how can I be of service? What are you looking for? What is it you are in the market for?
What is it that I want?
Well, for me
want everything.
personally,
I want everything.
Gruff
Full
wants everything.
course.
But
Just as point, he doesn't think that's a joke. He's like, so the full ensemble.
We're just browsing mostly to see what's around, and maybe.
Well, you are more than welcome to look at Mistress's collection that is on display here, but I should warn you that these are primarily display purposes. We offer a much more personal service here. It is very much about tailoring a weapon or a piece of armor, a shield. Each individual who uses it, it is a very delicate balance. It is a relationship between the tool and its user. This is all very much just to bring people inside, but for a true fighter, obviously you are welcome to buy any of these items that you can see, but for a true warrior, we offer a more bespoke service.
Gruff unhooks his shield from his back, holds it out, and goes.
It's a big plank of wood, right?
Basically,
It's like a bit of driftwood roped
it's not
together.
good.
I made this myself from my old raft.
There is you see like the calm exterior, there is definitely a bit of a blanch. I see.
Also my quarterstaff. I took it from an old bit of house. And my birds, when I was rearing them, they perch on it.
That would indicate the staining upon the top of it.
I tried to get it out, but it's, quite pungent. Sorry.
But despite the tools at Gruff's disposal,
And your armor, the leather and fur, this is your...
My wife made it.
but you should see Gruff in combat. It's truly
Please,
the tools.
it is a matter of that is more of my interest. Is what you have now. You are clearly looking for improvements and something that is more accustomed to suit you better and to fulfill your needs.
Yeah, I've been told that you cauldrons, put a lot of stock in what they see. And
We are very proud people.
I'm going to be doing something in the tourney, and I'm trying to find an order of knights.
Oh.
So I probably should scrub up a bit and try and look good. Is that the right? Yeah, look
Yes, well, mostly. But also succeeding, doing well in the tournament will certainly help.
May I ask Sir's expected budget for these endeavors?
What,
That's a good question. I actually hadn't considered that.
500? Well, we gave Ophelia 500.
We did. But this is the tournament.
600?
What kind of a budget would you say would be reasonable for an upgrade for Griffith?
Well, with Mistress Dante's works, it would depend. For that sort of sum, your 500, 600 gold, we are looking at perhaps a fine weapon, but certainly I would not be able to include a shield or armor. Armor is particularly pricey, especially that worked in metal. You would need to be considering thousands, unfortunately, for metal armor. But for weapons, or perhaps a more simpler piece of armor, we could extend it to. It depends on what you are looking for, good sir.
Can druids wear armor that is not
Not
wood, but
in the core D&D rules, it does say druids should not wear metal armor, and I'm inclined to follow that because I do think it's a good flavor for the class, but also it is about your primal connection to it, and there's the idea that metal armor is kind of somehow blocking that.
Can also use heat metal, and it's just a nightmare.
That does mean, though, that I'm perfectly willing to allow things like scale mail that is made from the scales of a creature, or leather, and things like that. I'm totally okay. Or, if you were to find, a shell, like a creature with a hard shell, that could be turned into plate armor or something like that. Huh?
okay, tools. Well,
Yes, I'm thinking more like, a powerful, like an ankh egg or something like an insectoid creature, like a
literally
chitin.
thought just like
Turtle.
Skin a turtle, yeah.
No, we just found it's long dead and it's just there.
Oh, yeah, just find a
Just
random long dead
scooch into
turtle.
it.
Just drag it all the way through Ashen Rest. Here you go, Dante. Do something with that.
But things like a chitin or something like that,
Yeah.
or scales from a creature you could turn into like a scale mail, or something like that as well. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of go with it that it is part of the class.
I thought that was the vibe.
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
I can't be spending thousands on this. Like, just for me, it's not...
Well, maybe not yet, but soon. This is a goal.
This is an investment.
This is an investment.
We do not have to do the full ensemble as well. If Sir is just looking for some new weapons or a new shield or something like that, that is certainly something. And 500 to 600 gold, we certainly can equip Sir with some fine weaponry.
What do you kids think? Weapon or shield?
Well, I think a shield would be bigger than a weapon and therefore more glamorous. Potentially. You might be able to go smaller, but shield could be good. Are you you were talking about how certain smiths in the area are, I suppose, promoting their work through the tournament.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you're sponsoring in the tournament?
Mistress Dante has already had a number of clients who will be displaying, advertising her wares, yes?
I see.
I would say that, unfortunately, in this place, there is not room for another, especially one who is not already a knight. And I do apologize, good sir. That is not meant as any sort of insult or anything such. However, there may be other smiths out in there. And he says, and he leans in, Mistress Dante does not like to speak of their services, but, and you see he holds the whetstone around his neck. He's like, but the Blacksmiths Guild, perhaps if you are looking to spend a bit less coin or looking for someone who might sponsor you, I would perhaps advise you speak with them.
Yeah. I just wonder if in this tournament, the first tournament since the event, people might have their eyes on the Heroes of Ashen Rest.
Most certainly. Most certainly, sir.
This boy.
I can't speak of the future, but who's to know?
Would you like to give me a persuasion check?
A very spicy persuasion check.
No, I'm just,
He's making a very good point.
Yeah.
I have pride.
Do you want to use fate?
Yeah, I do.
Keeping in mind, it is tomorrow.
I know.
But, yeah, all right, you're going to spend a point of fate.
Just something off the racks.
What if
Now,
we just,
I'm going to keep in mind, if you spend a point of fate and you flub this roll, it's going to have a consequence.
You should have seen what that piece of shit was saying. So what is it? Sorry, persuasion.
Persuasion.
Okay, doke. With this. Oh my giddy aunt.
Good.
Oh my god.
Roll the 19.
19, 24, 27.
20.
Wow.
You see Martain when you say that, and there is a kind of wry, knowing smile. He's like, well,
But who's to say the future?
I will go and inquire with Mistress Dante. Let
You
her
would?
know that one of the saviors of the town is interested, perhaps, in displaying. This would only be a rental for the
That would be
purposes of the
amazing.
tournament.
Well, that would be, yes.
It would make everyone look amazing.
Now, before I go, I don't wish to bother the mistress without having the full details. Now, whether it or not is a shield or weapon, I want to have a mind. It seems that we have some custom, whether it is a rental or perhaps a purchase. And he kind of looks to you, Gruffith, and he's like, now, my good sir, I have a few questions, if I may. What is your preferred fighting style? You have a shield and staff, but more than that, do you prefer to engage close? Do you keep your enemies at reach? What is your fighting style? Describe to me how you engage in battle.
I generally put myself in front of everyone else so everyone attacks me and not the others.
Yeah, real out there, real good.
And do you prefer control, or are you more aggressive?
Oh, Gruff has both, like, all the time.
Balanced fighting style, would you say?
I suppose, yeah. I mean,
And can you use, are you purely martial in your ability? Do you employ magic in any way?
Gruff can turn into a kitten, but he won't. He won't do it. He says this demeaning.
If I may, madam, this is a matter between myself and
I'm
the
just
warrior.
so excited. I'm sorry. Sorry.
fine, but
Gruff's
this
really
is-
nice.
Okay, let's go look at the.
If I may.
Daggers!
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to get kicked out.
Imagine like you've got a wine sommelier and somebody's just like, oh, he likes cherry. Oh, you like it when it's fizzy, right? Like, and the sommelier's just like,
excited.
The thing is that Gruff needs this.
Yeah.
Gruff doesn't fucking know. He's like,
but that's the job of a good sommelier to get the answers out. So in private, he's just like, no. So a controlled fighting style use a mixture of aggression and controlled discipline. Disciplined mind, would you say?
I try and be disciplined, yes.
is very
but
good.
sometimes I do lose my temper a little bit.
Well, that's good to know. And with the staff, you prefer to fight one-handed.
Yes.
With your shield in the other.
Yes.
Do you employ the shield for any attacking? To bash, to block, to
that's a good
push?
That's a really good idea.
That's important to know. Now, let me see. You mentioned, can you use some magic? There seem to be a cusp matter of things there as well.
Yes,
I should have talked about the kitten, should I, Xanthias?
You shouldn't have.
Okay.
I do a lot of healing magic and elemental things I've learned from the storms and the ocean.
The ocean. You are a sailor of some kind?
A fisherman.
So you are used to being steady on your feet. Would you say that when you fight, do you envision the battlefield like an ocean, swaying, the pull and push of combat flowing upon you?
You know, I suppose it is. It's changeable. It has tides. It has waves. It's unpredictable. There's normally something in the depths that come up and grab your ankle at the last minute.
Yes.
Gets in your eyes and blinds you a little bit. But you can also judge it and control it and use it.
Yes. Very good. This is excellent. Excellent. And in terms of armor, what are we looking at? You are currently very lightly armored, leathers and furs, that sort of thing. Do you prefer to be light on your feet, or would you like something more protective, more sturdy? Are there any limitations? Are there anything I should know about your preference for armor?
Well, I can do this.
and the armor of oak and forms.
Marvelous. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning.
Bless you.
And this is on top of whatever you have underneath. If you did not have the furs, this is still projected around it.
Yes, so yes, I've never really thought about it.
And how quick on your feet would you say you are? Are you quite dexterous?
I'm pretty quick. I am pretty dexterous.
Very good. Now, what about weight? How are we feeling? Are you comfortable with a heavier weight? We have I have some measuring devices, and he literally rolls out like dumbbells and like padded like vests and things.
Yeah.
And he gets you to like try on.
Yeah.
What's your strength score as
It's
as
not.
Gruff?
It's a flat.
Flat 10. So there's definitely a point where like when you start putting the heavier stuff on, you're like, oh, this is a bit uncomfortable. And without even having to say anything, Martin is just like, I can see that that's making you uncomfortable. No, we take that off. He tries on, which is almost like a middle weight. And actually you feel kind of good. It still gives you a look, because your dex score is
12.
12, so it's a +1. So you put that on and you're like, yeah, this is good. You still have a bit of, you've got flexibility, but you can definitely feel that there's like a sturdiness to it. And he's like, yes, this, I think, is what we need to be looking at, sort of a medium weight. Very good, very good. He looks at your paws. He's like, larger than a gauntlet, yes. And he starts taking measurements, and he gets like a measuring thing out, and like he's like a tailor taking measurements. He writes them down on like a little chalkboard. He's like, very good. All right. Let me go and speak with the mistress about a loan of some armor for the tournament, but weapon-wise, I think I have something. And he goes over and he unlocks some of the cabinets and he starts pulling things out. A selection of different things. He closes them up and he brings them over. And the first thing he shows you is, it almost looks like a club, more like a long kind of flattened metal and wooden, beautifully made, steel-capped like rod. And he's like, now this is perhaps a bit more useful for traveling, and he throws it, and with a flick, it becomes a quarterstaff. So it moves between a club and a quarterstaff, so you can change between the two. Good if one is using one-handed, but needs the extra reach, or if one wishes to swip to a two-handed grip, and he begins almost displaying fighting moves with it. Very useful, much more versatile. collapses it down, places it down. This one is quite interesting. He pulls out a quarterstaff, but this one has a large hook on the side, and on the other side it has like a flattened sort of end, almost like a heavier weight. Now, the bill pole. This is much more interesting. You mentioned flow, push and pull. Very useful. Large flat end, pushing away, gives you much more weight and advantage, helps you leverage your strength. But an ally or an enemy that needs to be brought closer, now we have a hook, we can pull, we can maneuver around, spin it around, begins showing off all of these things.
It's out of a fight. You back here.
Shields. Brings over a couple of shields. One is like a smaller, rounded, domed shield with quite a large kind of dome in the middle. A punching shield. Very good for disarming, but also for the strike. Much more. Not as good for protecting those around you, but very good as an offhand weapon. But for protection, he brings over... this seems to be a normal size, metal shield, but there is a trigger on the inside, and when equipped, it extends outwards, becoming much wider. Useful for protecting one's allies who are nearby. Does reduce your mobility, reduces a little bit on that, makes you a bit more of a, but provides a little bit of additional cover, good against archer fire or some things coming in like that. And with a flick, it locks back in, places those down. What are we thinking on these choices, sir?
I don't know if we can intervene.
So Gruff kind of reaches out, his paws go over all of them.
Please pick them up, have a feel. This is important we get the right notion.
And he probably rests on the bill hook and the protection shield.
Yes, I thought that those would be your choices. Now, does Sir have anything for if Sir is disarmed or if one is not able to use his primary weapon?
I've got my claws.
Oh, very good.
I've got magic in terms of a knife made of
Excellent.
ice.
So we don't need a backup sidearm, a knife or a short blade or anything of the like. You're not in the market for, sir.
I'll probably be okay.
For the claws, gauntlets perhaps? Something to protect your hands if you are going to use them in close combat?
I never thought of that.
Give me a moment. He goes over and he begins pulling out. Now, we only have the one set of these. Unfortunately, I cannot offer you a number of options, but he places out two very simple metal gauntlets that would wrap over your hands and over the claws. A little bit of extra protection when you go to strike with them, but also, and on the back you can see they have studded spikes, are good for a reverse, just to give you a little bit of extra offensive ability as well. They would just increase your unarmed damage, basically.
Double claws.
Yes. But also to protect the fingers and nails and things like that as if you are using them.
Useful.
Yes, these would be, and he puts them in a little separate pile. These would be an additional cost, of course, for Sir. But looking at these, the Masterwork Bill Hook and the Masterwork Protector Shield, we would be looking at about 600 gold for the pair.
Oh. Do you both think that's all right?
Sorry? Oh, we were just looking at the weapons over here. We weren't paying attention at all.
I didn't have any money to spend on nice things when I was growing up, and now we have a little bit of money to spend on nice things, and Ophelia got a nice thing, and I think that you should get a nice thing too. And it's very important because this is the start of your journey to being a knight. So get it, or we'll buy it for you anyway.
Right, I have a feeling I have no say in the matter, because even if I say no, the children are going to buy it anyway.
Well, then I am very pleased to do business with you, sir. I will get these properly packaged. We all do some resizing and things like that. Make sure the straps are well adjusted for your forearm. The mistress will work on those momentarily. And he starts putting the unselected items away. If you wouldn't mind here, would you care for refreshments whilst you wait?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Yes, of course. There are seats over in the corner. There's a little table next to the window. He brings over, it's cucumber water and beautiful little glasses, a little tray full of nuts and savoury snacks. He puts those down. It will only be the briefest of moments while I'm gone. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And he collects the bill hook and the shield, and he takes them into the back, and is gone for a short period of time.
Standing there calm and smiling as he walks out of the room, and the moment he's left, that is how you get it done. We did it.
I have no idea what just happened.
You're going to be a knight, and you're going to be wearing this armour in the tournament.
Right.
and you're going to be using these weapons, and you're going to look amazing. And what's more, we've got rentals for ourselves as well.
Wait, what?
I think. No, wait, they were the rentals. I've misread this entire scenario.
We're not getting anything. We don't need anything.
I do feel really bad. I feel like you
Why?
both need things as well.
No.
It's fine, especially you.
I don't know how to use weapons.
I can make a dagger in my hand.
It's got a dagger. And also, armor-wise, too heavy. Restrains me.
It was quite heavy, actually.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to carry that sort of weight.
No.
I've got the magic armor.
Okay. Use that more.
As a point, like
Use it all the time.
Dante's is like the creme. This is like masterwork quality gear. You can just go to the Blacksmith's Guild if, say, you want to get like some armor for Rowan, or if Ophelia wants some armor. Like, you don't have to come here. Ophelia will want to come here.
She's
But-
not
You want in on
going
the scene? You want to be here?
Fancy pants McGee.
Wait, there's Ophelia. She's
so the
walking past now.
Guys!
Just like looking in.
How long has
Sure, if you want to
Ophelia...
join in on the scene.
How long has Ophelia been at the window?
I don't know.
There's a lot of steam on it from her breath.
The weapons
There is
are
no
bought
steam. She
outright.
has no breath.
The armor is a borrow, yes. Yeah.
That is the deal that has been run here.
That's
So
good. No.
mark off 600 gold because the armor and the shield
Yeah.
and weapon are bought.
But they're bought
I will
for
have
you
to
for
do
good.
custom stats for those, so we'll have those for you next week, Kim. But I didn't know what Martin was going to suggest until we had a conversation, so I had to make it up on the spot. But we'll have those custom items for you. They are non-magical masterwork weapons, so they're not going to do any extra damage. I'm thinking in my head that the bill hook, the masterwork bill hook, is basically going to give you a +2 bonus whenever you try to shove, or if you try and grapple and pull somebody with the bill hook. Or you can use it on allies, and they willingly just go like, "Yep, okay." You can move them 5 feet closer and stuff like that to it. It will also
Pretty good.
It will basically be a quarterstaff with reach, I imagine. So no extra damage, but it does have like an extra little effect and 5 foot of reach as well. Right?
Still have seven.
They will not be. That's a different staff. You might need to go and have a mage do some transfery nonsense for that. But that is, I'm going to say no. This is like a masterwork thing on its own. The shield is probably going to be as a bonus action. You can extend the shield. When you do, it will probably reduce your movement, but it will offer half cover to an ally within 5 feet of you. So if you have, as long as you have somebody next to you, you can give them half cover with this cool extendo shield, basically.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
That's good. 600 gold for 2 really cool things.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, 300 gold each, basically, or like 400
Yeah.
and 200 for the shield.
And then borrowing armor, which
Yeah.
is going to make you look really cool for the tournament. So
Yeah, so Ophelia comes in, having like been looking in the window, like you're brought in.
We've been shopping.
Have you?
We have, our knight in training over here.
You've got armor.
I'm not a knight yet.
In training.
I may have purchased some things.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Can I see it? Is it ready?
Oh, well, they'll be back very, very soon. But you're going to look so good.
You will look amazing.
Oh, Lord, everyone's going to be looking at me, aren't they, by the
They're going to be looking at us anyway.
Right,
But
okay.
you're going to look good doing it. Being looked at, I mean.
should I make a banner for the tournament? For Gruff?
I wouldn't know.
Good idea.
Should make a banner.
I will point out you have a day.
I'm making a banner.
Okay.
He's
About,
gonna stay up all night and make a.
I would say about 10 to 15 minutes pass, and you hear Martin returning, but another voice joins him of, "I want to meet this man before I loan him my armor. I want to, I've heard of these heroes, but I want to meet them, Martin." And Martin comes out, and you can see he's carrying the bill hook and the shield. Looks like the straps have been adjusted, and grips and things have been re-gripped, and everything's been polished up and made nice. They are not put in a nice bag or anything like that. Maybe like a ribbon wrapped around it. Yeah. But yeah, brought out. Martin will bow his head. Also, will see Ophelia and sort of bow to you as well as a new customer. If I may introduce, please, Mistress Ilana Vidante. And you see a cauldron woman in her late 30s. Her hair is kept short on the sides but worn quite long on the top and then tied up in a bun. She wears a very elegant sort of blouse with a pair of work trousers, like quite tight work trousers and boots. The boots are the most stunningly gorgeous leather, like knee-high boots. They're embellished with like gold and fittings, all looking like tiny hammers and flames.
Ophelia has powerful knees.
Engraved, like, embossed leather, all done with like these fiery motifs. Her work apron, she has like a blacksmith's apron, which is of the same quality. The apron is beautifully like embossed. All the clasps and fittings are handmade and fitted, and it's perfectly fitted around her figure. And you can see that on her belt she has various beautiful artisan tools as well. Flawless makeup, like full face, not a drop of sweat on her. And she sort of like, looks around, and she has these tiny pince-nez glasses as well, balanced on her nose. And she like looks around. You must be Griffith of Tremoro, yes?
I am. I charmed to meet you, mistress.
I am Mistress Ilana Vidante, apprentice of the great Master Dante. And, yes, Xanthius Oregana.
Yes, indeed. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you. You are quite bold for your suggestion.
Well, apologies for any offence.
No, you are Cauldron, are you not? Do not
am.
apologize for being bold. I'm intrigued. I already have many of the knights. Sir Griot, Dame Cassandra, many of the others have already purchased works from me, or I am loaning them objects to wear in the tournament to show off my skill as one of the true heirs of Master Dante. But you have made a bit of a name for yourselves. I am intrigued. Perhaps I will loan you a piece for the tournament, but I wish to meet the warrior, the man, the lion, who wishes to wear it. A wild heart. I have not made armor for a wild heart before. Now, I'm told that you favor a sort of medium weight to your armor. What about, and he's like, you can see she's like looking down at your feet. Now, we can't possibly, armor on those would be too dangerous. You need those loose. Yes, we can't have that. And she's like examining, walking around you, not really kind of treating you as a person, like is like looking at you as an object, basically. Did you tell Martine about no metal yet, by the way?
I guess, yeah, like...
Yeah, because you could just say metal interferes with my
magic,
powers. Yeah, absolutely. Like, we can just say that. Very curious. No metal. What a challenge. What a challenge. I am very skilled in leather work, of course. How much metal? If there are studs of metal, would that affect you, do you think? The answer is no.
The answer is no. The answer is no.
Do we still have some of that hide that we bought from those other adventurers several months ago? Of course, mistress, we have it preserved out the back. Yes, we would make something with that. It would not be a full suit of scale mail, but we could offer some protection in the much-needed areas. It will take me all night. We'll have to use the magical forge, but it's possible. Very well. I will craft you a suit of armor to be delivered just before the tournament begins. It will be on loan. You will wear it for the tournament, and when you have the opportunity to speak, you will make sure to thank Mistress Ilana Vidante for the beautiful armor that you are wearing.
Mistress, this is a great honor.
It is, yes.
For a country boy from a very small village in the north that no one's ever heard of. And I must let you know, I am making a name for myself in this town as an oath keeper. So you have my oath that if I have the opportunity to speak, I will shout your name and your praises from the rooftops.
Very good. This is what I wish to hear. But if I may offer a bit of advice, no more of this, I am a countryman from the north. No. You are in Caldra. We do not speak of that way. You are a hero of this town, a knight in training who wears the very best. There will be no more of this humble origin. No. Not if you wish to win the hearts of Caldron people. No. Very well. I have my moment. I have inspiration. Martine, you will deal with the rest, yes? Of course, mistress. Yes, of course. Absolutely. Then I go to work. The armor will be delivered to you tomorrow.
Thank you, mistress.
Do not disappoint. I will be most displeased if I am to loan you this beautiful custom armor that I, heir of Master Dante, am to make, and then you are to perform terribly in the tournament. That would be quite the insult.
I wouldn't dare to let down a lady's honor.
Now we are speaking as a knight. Yes, very good, very good. She goes. She doesn't clap to anyone. That's for herself. She kind of swanters, and she definitely has like a sway in her walk. Like she has a very sassy walk when she leaves. Very, Edna mode, almost kind of like brimming with ideas. Taller, sexier Edna mode. But when you leave, Martine is just like, well, sir, I have prepared the weapons and armor. They have been adjusted for you. Please, and with your thanks. And I'm assuming you do like a promissory note like that. Of course, I will take care of that and make sure the payment is accepted on behalf. Is there anything? My apologies, my good lady. I did not see you enter. I've been busy with another customer.
No, not a problem, not a problem. Sorry, Sorry, I was just a bit flustered.
Oh, yes, of course. No, please, take your time. Please, indeed. If there is anything else I can help any of you with, are any of you in the market for our services, or...?
Just to be clear on the deal that was made there, simply thanking Elena Vidante during the tournament.
#Ed.
Mistress Ilana Vidante, yes?
Yes.
I believe that if as long as Mr. Gruffith performs admirably in the tournament and indeed can mention my lady's name. It is generally given that most knights who compete in any of the major tournaments will have an opportunity to introduce themselves. This would be or to have a speaker announce on their behalf.
Okay.
That is generally, is where we would
Somewhere within the first 30 seconds of the speech.
Yes, something along those lines.
We can create a banner as well to go over the top as well.
Well, that would be
They
lovely,
have
but
to
not
see the
necessary.
banner before they're invested
Of
in the
course.
speech.
Yeah.
Maybe I could
Disclosure.
Advertising
It's
standards.
very important.
I could send my birds out to send
Yes.
word.
Oh, so we can always say that there's...
They could tweet about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Remember,
very
they have
good.
to disclose it instantly. Can't be hidden in their
Yeah.
tweet.
I mean, I knew what I was doing when I put some of this
I
stuff
know,
in here.
I know.
I knew. So, but yes, he will say, and then once the tournament is concluded on the second day, we would expect the armor to be returned. Ideally, in as good condition as can be expected after battling in the tournament.
Okay.
Right. No blood stains.
Bloodstains are fine. We can deal with bloodstains.
Okay.
We're talking about damage to the armor itself.
Right.
Yes.
We can manage that.
I think we can manage that.
Excellent.
Wouldn't want to disappoint her ladyship, would we? Oh, God, no.
No.
Not at all.
Oh, no.
But no, for me, armor doesn't sit right for me in battle. I'm comfortable as I am.
Any preference? Do you use weaponry, sir?
No, purely magic.
Oh, very good, very good. What about you, my dear? Anything for yourself?
I have weaponry taken care of. I'm okay, I think.
Very well, very well. And of course, madam, apologies, I've not had a chance. I am Martine, I am the Armelier.
Oh, wonderful to meet you. I'm Sister Ophelia Della Rosa of the House of Blood.
A most gracious pleasure, Sister Ophelia. Is there anything that we can offer you here? As I have mentioned to your companions, it seems, most of these are weapons that are on stock. We offer a more bespoke service where we work with the individual warrior to determine their needs in terms of armor or weaponry and such things. I mean, if I may, I can see that you have a very fine sword
Oh,
already.
thank you. Would you like to take a
beautiful
closer
piece.
look at it?
If I may, as
Yes,
as
its
fellow
name is
appreciator.
Veracity.
And he takes it. Oh, yes. Examines it, holds it, and immediately falls into an incredibly detailed, like fences style.
Oh, it
It's like a
suits you to a T. It looks wonderful on you.
Balancing is wonderful, and he puts it like on edge, and he can, with a single finger, perfectly balanced. Wonderful. Oh, and yes, this is a wonderful piece of art. No, I think that if I may, not even my mistress would be very pleased to see such an item.
Oh, she can look at it any time she likes.
Oh, so she would certainly love to. I'm sure that if you were to stop by, my mistress always appreciates seeing. Who made it? Is it a work of art?
It was a gift from the Gravefather himself.
Gravefather? I am not familiar with this artisan.
Oh, he's my deity. My god, if you...
Oh, I see. Oh, you are not from the
Oh,
Empire.
no, I am from Osseous.
Oh, Osseous, I'm afraid that my skills and training extends to arms and armor, my lady, not to geography. But whatever it is, or whoever made it, it is a fine piece indeed.
Well, I'm sure they'd be very pleased to hear it. I'm unaware of the maker of this sword.
Really? You do not know who made it itself?
No, I do not, no.
Oh, then the mistress will be most equally pleased. A mystery of this kind. It is rare that we see such fine works.
Well, if she would like to peruse, she is most welcome.
I believe that she is occupied currently. Perhaps when she delivers she will likely deliver the armor in person. Perhaps you could introduce her then.
That would be splendid.
Excellent. But what about armor or side
yes.
armaments or things like that?
Well, I mean, what do you recommend? I mean, you have so many wondrous pieces on display.
Are we talking weapons or armor, my lady?
I think armor.
Armor. He kind of like looks back. He like takes in your figure. He asks you to like spin around. Would you draw your weapon for me? Show me how you would fight. Oh yes, I see.
How you would fight. She rages.
Yeah. But like the way that you draw it and hold yourself.
She has like a dancer's stance.
I can see that you have a beautiful grace to you, Sister Ophelia. So we cannot go, but there is also a firmness, a sturdiness to your sense, to your core. Athletic. I think that's something not too heavy, but actually it is wasted on you to wear anything too light. I think that you could handle something a bit heavier, something akin to what we will be making for Mr. Gruffith, something of a medium nature. But not too much. Perhaps a breastplate would suit you marvelously. You already have something akin to that. I can see this beautiful decorative piece, but something a bit more protective to cover the upper arms, the forearms, gauntlets of some sort.
Yes, I do have the gauntlet and the chest armor, but I do need a little more protection.
I can see that this has been made for beauty rather than function. Yes. We could certainly. I mean, and he goes over and he brings out this beautiful gilded piece of like half breastplate. So, and it seems to be cut for a woman, like it has like a shape, not boob plate, but like there is a cut to it. And it's like a midriff kind of up armor, and it comes with like a gauntlet, like a shoulder piece, and then a secondary gauntlet. And then there are panels for the hips and things like that as well. And he like takes you. There's like a little changing room. He takes you, pulls a curtain back, like shows you, puts it all on for you, like a squire would. And yeah, it fits perfectly well. And for you, like medium armor. So barbarians have an unarmored thing where if they don't wear armor, they get their con mod. But for you, that's only +2. If you were to wear breastplate like this, your base AC would be 14. And then your +2 dex would boost it to a 16. So you can already feel, and this is masterworked armor, so there's actually extra benefits to it as well. But those aren't going to be relevant until you wear it. But this is beautifully made, very lightweight. You get the full range of your motion in it as well. And yeah, you can definitely feel that this would be a beautiful set of armor to wear and things like that.
What is your current AC?
14.
Oh, okay, wow. That's
Pretty
good
low
update.
for a barb.
Well, yeah, but it's still a good upgrade.
Yeah.
If we gamify it.
I mean, it's okay to gamify it though sometimes.
I know it's been an expensive day. Friends.
Yeah. Yes.
Ophelia's already taken 500.
Yeah.
But don't I look wonderful?
How much would the sauna cost?
For this particular piece here, which I do think is fabulous on the madam, this would be, if I'm correct in understanding, we would be looking at 1,000 gold.
You might get that.
Take that off.
Take it
right
off
now.
immediately.
Everybody runs.
Spider climbs out the door.
To be fair, we can get Ophelia and Rowan armor at a blacksmith.
Yeah.
You could get
We are
A
gonna,
normal and plus AC.
I hope you like studded leather.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a regular breastplate would cost, I believe, 400 gold for normal breastplate.
Maybe we could get them to put some skulls in it, I don't know.
It is beautiful, and I can appreciate the craftsmanship that has gone into it. It would make Osseous proud to see such wonderful craftsmanship.
Budgets are budgets, madam. We
Budgets are
understand.
budgets.
We understand. I am very. It has pleased me to see such a beauty wearing it.
Oh, thank you.
It very suits you, but I understand. I will
Pleased
have.
me to wear it. It gave me great pleasure.
We have already had such great custom with your companions.
call
It's
me a
my
booty.
pleasure, but I will have to ask you to step back and
Yes,
start
of
taking it off.
Get off!
I am. I'm having that. Yeah. You see, he very meticulously takes each piece, puts it back up in the display, like armory and things like that. It's like, well, perhaps if you find yourselves in abundant in coin, please do consider coming back and shopping here with us
I
at
will.
Dante.
It's a goal that we can get to.
Yeah.
It will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine.
Yes.
Yes. We, as I mentioned, we can also do bespoke works. Armor can be customized as well, improved upon it. For example, we could add elements, and he shows you a more plain-looking bracer, but this one he flicks and jagged blades come out the side. We can add features such as this to.
Now, why would you show me a thing like that?
Ophelia, leave the shop right now.
I'm leaving. Thank you.
And you guys make your way out of Dante's, the armory.
1,100 gone already. Almost 2,100 if we got that armor.
Jesus.
I mean, you went to the fanciest weapon store in
but it's
town.
for
It was
Rob.
great. I mean, I'm happy that you did it. I've had this guy sat there since we began the campaign. I've been waiting for you to go in there.
Oh, Groff's always been thinking about it.
About how good we're going to look in the tournament, though. Or how good you're going to look in the tournament.
And then he just rolled that one.
Because I know people are going to bring it up, it is absolutely inspired by the sommelier scene in John Wick 2, where Peter Serafinowicz is like the gun sommelier.
Nice.
100% inspired by that when I was writing it.
Yeah.
The idea of a guy who's just like, no, tell me how you fight, and I'll suggest a way.
So good.
I just like the idea as well that the difference between Ophelia and Gruff. Gruff is kind of awkwardly when he's awkwardly moving around and doing it, whereas Ophelia's great, like a ballerina,
dancer, exactly.
totally used to people showering the attention.
Yours was medium armor for necessity and oh, I don't want to wear anything too heavy. I'm a bit clumsy in that. Whereas with Ophelia, it's no, this is perfectly balanced and sculpted. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Gruff's never used to someone taking measurements or looking at them or asking them these questions.
Nice.
Oh, by the scions and saints.
It's past break time.
Okay,
Sorry,
I can't see because of the colours. It looks like I can see one and then.
Yeah.
Right, so in that case, we are going to take our 5-minute break, everybody. It's a little bit later than normal. We're going to take a very quick break, and we'll be back after that. We'll see you in part 2.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Welcome back to part 2 of Altheya the Dragon Empire. Our heroes in this lovely little interlude episode are going about various business around Ashen Rest, preparing themselves for what is to come. A nightly tournament of future adventures, as well as building up the inn that they have inherited, or been given, I should say, building shrines, custom armor and weapons, and all sorts of good things. One thing I didn't mention is you guys were making your way to Dante's armory. You guys would have noticed that Ashen Rest for the last day, maybe day and a half, have been preparing for the tournament and the Festival of the Forge, also known as Saint Misara's Day. And you can see that people are doing things like they are putting up communal fires around the town, communal kind of barbecues. You can see that there are cooking areas attached to these fires. Decorations are being hung up. The colors seem to be that of just the town, so orange, red, white, and brown are the main sort of colors of Ashen Rest. And so the pennants and the banners have all those out, but buntings being strung between the buildings. There are effigies of Saint Misara, who is depicted as a one-armed dwarf with a hammer, or sometimes with a wand, or some sort of artisan's tool. They are very non-binary. Saint Misara is generally depicted as a non-binary figure. And you see those are being depicted around murals and paintings. It's very much a celebration of art. As much as it is blacksmithing and forging, it is also a festival about art and magic. You see magicians, little illusionists putting up little booths to do little shows and little stages here and there for singers and artists and things like that. People, communal workshops. You see around parts of the town, things seating and easels are being set up for people to do little art workshops and like pottery classes and things like that. It's very much a celebration of the process of creation and making things. You also see that a number of people are painting their left arm, which is the missing arm on Saint Massara. They're painting their arm either a dark purple, a blue, or a black. And those of you who are religious, which I think is primarily Gruff, Gruff would know that that is to symbolize part of the legend of Saint Massara is that they gave their arm as a dwarf. They used their arm to make weapons and armor as, some part of a larger story. And it was actually Melia, the goddess of the shadowed moon, that came down and wove a new arm out of the shadows in their forge for them to continue their work. So people paint their arm dark purple or dark blue or sometimes like soot black as a way of representing that as a sort of tribute to Saint Massara.
Left arm.
Left arm.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mine's just a permanent tribute.
Yeah. I got the wrong arm.
Well, this is wonderful. There's so much
Over everything.
creativity.
Yeah, and for Ophelia, like, you don't know who this saint is. You see these depictions, but, like, yeah, this is all brand new to you. You don't have a clue what any of this is about, but people seem to be in good spirits. Like, after everything that happened with the Lamplighters Guild, this is kind of being used as a let's have a nice celebration and do something which is about making things and try and forget all of that nastiness with the Lamplighters Guild. Like, people are trying to put it behind them now, even though it's only been a couple of days.
Okay, so there's not, like, just almost an underlying, like, tension, I suppose.
There probably still would be, but people are trying to, like, grin and bear it, right? Like, this is, people are trying to be like, look, this is a nice thing. Let's focus on this nice holy festival and try and put that in the past. There is definitely, like, people glance towards the Pharos, which is still this, ominous building.
Horrible business, that.
Yeah, there's a bit of a, let's not talk that Lamplighters business.
It's okay, keep Cauldron, carry on.
Yeah, like... People have probably, like, wrapped ribbons around the light posts and, like, tried to obscure, like, the bit where the light would be. They've tried to, like, cover that and, like, try and distract as much as possible from it.
Never speak again.
I won't.
For everybody listening, we are not putting that on a mug.
No,
Or
you're
a
not.
t-shirt or anything.
No.
Don't even ask.
No,
It's not going to happen.
Not gonna
It's
happen.
not happening.
I want that buried.
But yeah, just something that you would notice moving around Ashen Rest is that there are preparations for this festival which starts tomorrow. So people are kind of getting ready for it.
Okay.
I think Ophelia was just like poking her head around, like curious, just like looking at everything, like, watching the people painting.
You would see, like, signposts, like, nobody's started yet, but there are, like, billboards for, like, workshops, that like, free workshops, like, public things that you can come and attend. And, like, starting tomorrow, there's, like, portrait painting classes, like, here in the Plaza Square, and it's, like, 12 p.m., come and sign up, and things like that, and, like, lots of little events like that,
Cute.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
But we're going to be at the tournament.
Yes, I was just admiring all the happenings.
Oh, if we have a break, I certainly want to explore the town.
Yeah, the tournament is
You
not
paint
all
me.
day, by the way.
You can paint?
I can try.
Have you never painted before?
I'm more into the physical displays of creativity, I suppose, like dancing and.
A dance in my image.
But I could try and paint. I've never really.
I could try and teach you.
I was going to say, Daisy, we might not have time for workshops, but could you run a little workshop now?
Yeah.
perhaps?
I would love
Yeah.
a portrait of me. That would be wonderful.
What would you do with it?
Well,
We
what
could hang
sort
it in
of pose
the
would I
inn.
do?
We could hang them in the inn.
What sort of pose are you thinking? Kind of, no, I can't, not the arm, hide the arm, but I could look pensive. I could look mysterious, like hiding in the shadows, or maybe very noble, like proud. Or what do you want from me? This is ridiculous.
What would make you happiest?
Yes.
No one's asked me that before.
That's quite sad.
A portrait of all of us.
Oh, a group portrait.
Yes.
Well, maybe we could take it in turns to pose, because I'd quite like to see what your artistic talent is like.
Mine?
Yes.
Awful. Artistic.
But it's
I've never
a
painted.
group effort. I think we should do.
We should do this.
What
Yeah.
if we all take it in turns to pose, and then we draw, and then,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should do that.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at painting.
Neither am I. I've never held a pencil in my whole entire life.
Okay, well, we can look into it.
Yeah, I was
But
going to say, tomorrow, the tournament does not take all day, by the way. There is, like, time for you to go and enjoy the festival if you want to as well. Like, there's, like, these things run, like, throughout the day, all late into the evening. Like, the ones that are outside move inside. You know, you can definitely, like, participate in different things if you'd like to. Also, something I'd never thought of before, but for Daisy, I think this makes sense, even if you don't have it already. I think you should definitely mark that Daisy has, like, proficiency in painting tools or, like, you know, art tools. Because, like, it's never... I think it's so inherent to the character,
Yeah.
even if it's not in your background, you should just have that for free, because it makes sense that you do it. Because if you do want to do things like paint yourselves, it would be a check. That we're going to roll to see how good you are at it and
I
stuff.
want to do it now.
no.
You can have a test go if you want, yeah. But poor Rowan's not here.
Rowan's
He's, you know,
not here,
he'd love to do that.
He would.
Yeah.
He'd be amazing at it.
Is there anything we need to do in preparation for the tournament? Anything left? You
We've got
have
armor.
you have a weapon, you have a shield. We have...
Banner. I'm going to make a banner.
You need to make a banner. But
I'm going to do that.
how are you feeling?
Yes.
Do you want us to join you in the group battle? Do you want to stand alone and we are in the audience just cheering you on?
Would you like a practice spa, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe some training.
You can also enter multiple elements as well.
Honestly, I feel like I'm going to kick myself. I would really like it, actually, if we could enter the group battle together.
We could do that.
Yes.
Now,
Sure.
do I know how like the teams are drafted there? Would it be a 5v5?
You can sign up as, it would be a 5v5. You can
Okay.
sign up. It's generally either 3v3 or 5v5.
Okay. Well, we got the perfect size team for it. And I imagine the perfect, what's the word I'm looking for?
Disciplines?
Disciplines of the group as well.
Balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the killer.
Really? That's the role you gave yourself?
I'm the one that falls on the floor and needs help all the time.
Ah, I know that one,
Yeah.
yes.
And you're the helper.
Yes,
I'm meek. I'm infirm. And I'm vulnerable.
vulnerable.
Yes.
You do listen.
I do. You're the killer.
Something that Sir Griald would probably tell you or that you would learn. Generally, you like weapons are either blunted or they are basically rendered safe. There's like a simple enchantment that can be placed upon them to basically like dull the edges and things like that. Kind of, but not quite.
Do this.
Yeah, it's magic and things like is allowed.
Daisy wouldn't do.
But it is also a case of, you know, if you accidentally kill someone, that is a crime. So
Cool story. Still a crime.
People are expected, like, you can do it, but obviously if it comes down to somebody's looking injured, you are either expected to back out, like if you are genuinely, like, really hurt, it is seen as knightly to know when you're beaten. Like, fighting until, like whilst you are on death's
He
door.
never gives up. He's
I
like,
know,
"Nah,
I know.
I do more.
But as a reference, it is considered unbecoming of a knight to like fight like a frothing animal. Like you are meant to bow to a superior animal and be a superior opponent and be like, nope, you've bested me. I'll back out now. However, at the same time, if you do use things like magic, you are expected to also know your limits and be like, that person looks like they're about to die.
Ray of death.
I'm not going to ray of death them. You know, it's like you then try and finish them off in melee or use a spell where you can use non-lethal force, that kind of thing. Because those do exist. Like if you use certain damage types, you can use like non-lethal versions.
Put that sword away. That sword that
no
drinks
drink.
blood.
Well, any melee weapon like that would have the enchantment
have
to
the
basically dull the blade, so it becomes like non-lethal for the duration of the battle.
But my teethies.
They can't. No, they if you use your teeth, they would be lethal weapons. So you can use them, but if you kill someone with it, then it's bad. Yeah.
Lethal?
It's not just I want to make it clear. It's not just frowned upon. If you kill or maim someone, it is very bad.
I just want to be clear to you, you will go to jail.
Sometimes as well, like sometimes it's just a straight fight. Sometimes they incorporate other objective elements to it. So it might be a kind of capture the flag type thing where you've got to grab someone's flag and take it to a base and that scores a point. It might be that like people have favors on them and the objective is to remove their favors rather than to actually kill them. Depends on the challenge. Like and that's normally left up to the reigning duke or duchess to determine the nature of the battles that you will fight.
Pretty tail tag.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
You did mention that you wanted to stop by the forge. You would see that when you do so, Gruffith and anyone that goes with Gruffith, that the soldiers are all very busy. Like there is still a lot of work to be done. The Lord Marshal is making sure that patrols are being sent out. You would probably catch like glimpses or snippets of conversation. Like maybe a team of scouts returning, and you would just overhear like any sign of the Sun Sword? No, we've lost them. Like they went off the road. We can't find any trace of them. We think that they've used magic to disguise where they've gone. That you would overhear that like these investigations and elements are still going on throughout it and stuff like that. But yeah, you find Sir Griald is probably not training himself. He's probably overseeing some other bits and pieces. But you can find Sir Griald, and he will sort of nod in your direction. He's like, my friends, hello, how are we?
Good, preparing for the tournament.
Good to hear it. As well. Good to hear it, Gruffith. Do you feel ready?
No.
At least you're honest, a good virtue for a knight.
We did stop by Dante's, and we have... outfitted Gruff with some new weapons and some rented armor.
You've done quite I mean, you must have had some honeyed words to get to get Mistress Ilana to.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's.
The boy did me a good deal.
Well, no, that's. I mean, if she didn't wish to, she would not have done it. I'm sure that. Xanthius captured her attention, but it is your deeds and your reputation that has secured her favour.
It does, of course, come with the caveat of thanking them in our opening speech, but I'm sure you've...
I'm in the same place. I have an ongoing relationship with the Mistress Ilana of similar nature. I make sure to thank her, and she gives me a good deal on my purchases and things like that.
Is it normal to feel absolutely bloody terrified? Not of the tournament, not of the demons we fought, but of Mistress Ildante and losing her favour.
Oh, I would say that that's a very wise thing to be afraid of, Gruffith.
Terrifying woman.
Very influential and very powerful. She's got friends all over Caldera.
Oh, good.
So definitely not one to displease.
Oh, great.
So put on a good show, and that's what it's all about. But, I mean, you need to do that anyway, because you're not just advertising yourself and the services of Mistress Dante, but this is to capture the attention of the Circle of Loyal Hounds if they're there, which I believe they are. I've heard word that they are on their way. They're either arriving late tonight or early tomorrow, so they will be in attendance. Whether they'll be participating or not, but it's a good opportunity to show yourself and show that you're interested. It may even be worthwhile during your announcement speech to mention them and say that you seek the Circle of Loyal Hounds. That's a surefire way to get their attention.
Right, you just said two words there. It made a ringing in my ears. Announcement speech.
Aye. Every true knight has to announce themselves or have someone announce for the most noble knights have someone who announces them for them.
Xanthius, you should totally announce Gruff.
Okie dokie. Sorry, Xanthius is chill with it. Tom?
Well, surely it should go to a performer. Rowan could maybe do it.
It is typically performed by bards or skalds or somebody of that nature. Somebody who knows the knight's
Sorry, Trot,
deeds.
we're just going to dump you with that.
I have a better idea.
Let's be honest. Trot knows
yeah,
that that's going to be coming for
that's
him.
fair.
Yeah. But yes, it's a very important deed. It would be somebody generally. The announcement includes a little bit about the knight, their accomplishments, their deeds, their things that they've done, and what they represent. But for you, it's an opportunity to Sorry.
Bless you.
Great analogies. But for you, Griffith, it's an opportunity for you to state your intentions to join the Circle of the Loyal Hands as well. And advertise Mistress Dante's wares, of course.
I'm not so used to being centre stage.
As a knight, you have to get used to it.
We're a humble folk from,
And there's nothing wrong with being a humble knight, Griffith. But you do have to get used to being somebody that is looked up to, somebody that is, if you truly wish to be a knight, somebody that has the attention of draconic lords and draconic ladies and people of high status. Knights carry a certain weight to it.
I just wanted to protect.
And that's a noble thing. Focus on that. But it does come with a caveat.
You have at least one person who looks up to you.
2.
3.
Oh, bloody hell, don't stop.
4. I'm here.
He's been here the whole time.
Yes. I've been busy with my rocks.
Oh no, not again.
Does that make 4 already?
Probably quite hard for you to look up at me because you're taller than me.
That's true. I look down, but not in that way.
Oh, you all. I can't find the words. I can't find the words. But my actions tomorrow, hopefully they will show you what it means to me.
What is your intention, Griffith? Are you? You have great and strong companions. I'm assuming you'll enter the team battle, but will you enter anything else as well? It's one thing to earn glory in one of the challenges, but to earn glory in multiple, well, your status rises higher and higher.
Well, I suppose, is there anything I can enter as a solitary?
Aye, single combat. You fight with sword and staff, I suppose, so you could enter the Shieldsman tournament, aye. It's a one-on-one, you against another opponent. Simple bracket tournament.
Sounds like maybe that's the place for me.
And you don't fight mounted, you've never jousted before.
No.
Perhaps best not to engage in that one this time. I'll be competing in the joust. That'll be my only event, I think, for this one. I've no need to promote myself much further, but I do enjoy a good joust.
You'll be glorious.
Well, I've heard that quite a few strong contenders from around the Empire. After everything that happened the last few days, people are rushing to Ashen Rest. It's been people are quite interested in what happened here, so expect people from Kelsgaris, perhaps people from Ferros, the capital of Galdra, perhaps some of the other provinces will send knights. It's probably going to be quite a busy little affair.
Oh, good.
What
Eyes of the world upon us.
What would you like?
Also, the best
me
of the.
to-
Oh God, you're right. Sorry, carry on.
What would you like me to write on your banner?
Oh, now that's a fine idea.
Yes.
Okay, good.
see?
What kind of thing goes on about
That's for you to decide, Griffith,
What
not
kind
for
of
me.
things are on banners that people have for you?
I've never had a banner bearer before. Being a knight of the realm. Well, I have the privilege of being under the Duke's banner, so there will be a banner bearer for all of the knights of the realm of North Vale. But for example, on that it has the Duke's heraldry, and it has the Duke's motto. It has things like that. It has a symbol. It has a representation of Duke Ignarius and his battle over the Oriat insurrection.
That's quite a lot. I have one night. I was just going to write "Go Gruff" on a big
Oh.
piece of fabric.
Oh, I see. Aye. Well, humble origins. Everyone loves a story of a knight from humble origins and well-meaning supporters. So.
I've no better supporters than these. Wait, no,
All right.
that came out wrong.
Maybe if
I
I
know
can
what you
make
mean.
maybe
That came out really
I
wrong.
know what you meant.
I'm open to suggestions.
No one has finer supporters than these.
if I can
You're still kind of
make a
Don't know
suggestion.
what I'm
Yeah.
And this is something for you to consider, Griffith, as well. A knight, you need a coat of arms. I see you've got your birds. Perhaps one of Gruff's birds on a field of colours that you believe represent you. A shield, a protector, after all, Gruff is. Think about what Gruff is. Think about who Gruff is, what they represent, where they come from, their story. That's what a banner should say.
Fish and a kitten.
fishing again. A fishing again.
On a boat.
A fish.
On a boat.
With a boat.
Oh my good. That's a complex scene. I'll try and make it work.
I have some ideas.
Okay.
I'll share them with you later. But I will say, you're probably gonna need 2 birds, because if I put one and not the other will complain.
Okay.
They're very jealous.
Okay. Both.
They
Both
can,
birds.
can be, yeah.
2 birds.
Definitely something for you to think about is your coat of arms.
Cool. What's yours?
And he will show you, like he has it on like a one of his armor pauldrons, not pauldrons, but the things that protect the joint. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
It's like so his would be the head of a dragon, which looks like Duke Ignarius. One of the horns is broken, like Duke Ignarius's. And it's done in the colors, so it's like orange with like red elements to it, and behind it is a large mountain, basically. And he's like, well, I bear the Duke's coat of arms because I'm a knight of the realm. But if you were to join the Loyal Hounds, now the Loyal Hounds, they have elements of their own coat, but as knights, we also sometimes have our own touches as well. And he points to the eye on the dragon. It's not a dragon's eye. It's like a more ornate, all-seeing eye for Sir Griald. The eye is one of mine, Steel Eye. It's a family name, but also I'm known for being a great marksman. So I have that. And you can see that the dragon's like front claws are clutching a pair of arrows that are crossed as well. And the same goes for the arrows as well. So little embellishments to my Duke's crest.
That's a wonderful idea. Always perfect. Suits you to a T.
Thank you very much.
What is the crest of the order that you're seeking?
I don't actually know.
Huh.
All I have is a list of the tenets that the traveller wrote down for me.
I remember something. I remember it's been a long time since I've met a knight of that order, but I remember that they had these quite funny-looking dogs. It was the illustration was a bit clumsy, or maybe it was stylized. I don't know. But these kind of long dogs around in like a circular shape, and there was something in the middle, but I can't remember what. But it's kind of almost like hunting dogs, but they were sort of illustrated. Like in those books, those manuscripts, and they get those funny animal, and like them.
Okay.
It's like a medieval, like a medieval, but imagine like a pair of hunting dogs, kind of running, so they're stretched out.
Yeah,
like that.
In a circle.
Yeah, basically as if they're chasing each other in a circle.
Yeah, I presume hopefully we'll see them tomorrow.
Okay. But, we can work on a banner. I say we. Daisy can work on a banner. Worst case...
I'm going to make 2. I'm going to make an official one, and then I'm going to make one, and I'm going to stand and hold it while you're doing your competing.
Gruff is tough. Go Gruff. Protector of the meek, the infirm, and the vulnerable.
That's a good.
It's very long, though.
It's quite long. We can... How much fabric do we have?
Not that much.
Okay.
How about... I don't know, something to do with roar? Gruff is roar? Some?
Gruff is raw.
Roar some! Roar some!
Rawsome, sorry. I just liked gruff is raw.
Well, you were trying to put raw, but you wrote
Right.
Gruff is raw!
and then trying to squish it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Rawsome.
It's fucking raw!
Gruff is raw! Look at this meat, it's raw!
I can't think of any good punny things.
That's a very sweet idea, Daisy.
But either way, we have a night to work that out. But until then, I think we're happy to assist in the group fight, duel, competition.
Yes.
If you wish to attend the shield fight, did you say it was,
What?
or the staff and sword?
Aye, the shield masters tournament.
Shield Masters tournament. We will happily wait in the wings, cheering you on, clapping, yelling, screaming, roaring.
Sounds like a good day out.
If you're willing to fight in 2 tournaments, that is.
Make sure that you arrive. You can go and register now at the tournament grounds, but you can do it tomorrow morning as well if you need to. Make sure you go and register for the events that you wish to participate in. But apart from that, Gruff, just get yourself ready. Good night's sleep, good meal. You know how to fight. I've seen you fight. You know how to do that.
Thank you for your counsel, Sir Griold.
Of course.
No matter the outcome, it has been a real honor to work with you and to stand by your side.
We fought side by side in defense of the people. I can think of no better way to bond than to see fellow warriors in arms doing what's right. Aye.
Yay.
It may be that once things have calmed down here, I imagine, given my talents and my training, I imagine the Duke will ask me to task in tracking down Ilkara Sunsword. That will likely be my next mission from my Duke. So I may be gone for some time after the tournament, but I don't think we're going to make any moves till then. We've not had any word from the scouts or anything like that. I'm hoping that tomorrow some of the other Knights of the Realm might come by, so I've not just been on my own the whole time. It's been a while since I've seen Dame Cassandra or Sir Ignis, but we'll see. They have got missions and they've been busy elsewhere, so fingers crossed they'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.
It's going to be an absolutely dreamy day.
There's going to be so many people there.
So many of my heroes.
Let's go spa. And not the spa. Sparring, I mean.
What's the star?
Right. I thought you were expecting me to have another bath again.
No. We need to
It's
get
not a bad idea, limber up the old muscles. And
But get
maybe
used
I'll
to-
do that tonight, actually.
I'm giving information to the competition.
Oh, I'm not competing in anything.
No, I
that
know.
Gruff is competing in.
But we should get used to those new weapons.
Yes. Good idea, Xanthias.
Right, I mean, I don't have them yet.
You got the weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the weapons. I
Yeah.
do have them.
Not the army yet, though.
No, that's tomorrow, isn't
That's
it?
tomorrow.
Yes.
But we can get you used to those weapons. We can train you in all sorts of different fighting styles. We all fight very differently. Let's throw a load of spells at you.
Right, I'm just going to bonk you on the head.
I don't want that. I don't want to be hit on the head.
No, I don't want to be hit on the head either. That's what I'm going to say, as far away as possible. While I fling spells at you. At your shield.
Right.
You need to be ready
Okay.
for a fight, for any strategy.
Okay.
People from different areas of Altheya.
I'm up for this. Let's do it.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Sir Griold will go over and speak to the Lord Marshal. The Forge, the actual barracks at the Forge are pretty empty because most of the soldiers are out. And it doesn't take much, convincing for the Lord Marshal to be like, yeah, absolutely, use the exercise field. Which is like a sparring field. It's like a loose dirt field with a simple barrier. And yeah, if you guys want to fully play it out, but otherwise we can just say that you guys spend a few hours sparring with Gruff.
I kick your ass.
I cast Fireball. I empower
and
it.
get yourself. Blow up
Last
yourself.
time I checked, Tom, you don't have Fireball.
I don't
spell.
have Fireball, no.
So he's a liar too.
He's a liar. But yeah, you guys spend some time. I imagine that different people, Rowan comes in as just a generic swordsman, Ophelia dancing and nipping around. What do you think? Who do you think Gruff would have the most trouble with out of your companions that are here, that do engage with you?
Daisy.
Too quick.
Because of the throwing a knife from a distance and it's radiant. Ow.
So Daisy keeps just keeping a distance, and you just can't close that distance. Can't get close to her to pin her down or do anything like that.
Unless I do just a heckin' moonbeam.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
But Gruff would not do a heckin'.
No, but you know that you could.
Yeah.
That's how you would. There's that tactical thing of okay, I physically can't engage with them, so I'd have to use my magic and, use that around them. And
Daisy's probably she wouldn't try and hit Gruff. She would go for Gruff's shield, but she'd be more focused on making Gruff move. The movement is probably what. Yeah.
Well, because you've got cunning action as well, so
Yeah.
you're just constantly staying out of reach, which is frustrating, but now you know, okay, this is actually a weakness I have.
Yeah.
And it's where maybe your allies, if you see somebody who's very mobile, you might want to direct Xanthias or Daisy to take them out so you can close and engage with the closer targets and things like that. You also pick up a few things like fighting against Ophelia, noticing how mobile Ophelia can be. She can be around you at any point and is very quick to adapt to like movement around you. Like can run up a wall. Can you raise your shield? She runs over your shield and is now on the other side of you, and that can be a useful thing, like for positioning and things like that as well. The one thing you would definitely pick up on is Rowan in his little flimsy leather shirt is very, very open to attacks and
he's a
does
big
not
hard
know
guy.
how to defend himself. He's not very quick. He is very vulnerable.
Yeah.
No offense, Trot. You've
Might-
got an AC of 11.
I need a bit of armor on that.
Yeah.
lad.
Yeah.
What about Xanthius?
Well, if I fight you, I guess, I mean, in the context of this, I'd be having to try and use a sword and shield, right?
No, because like Gruff might have to fight
Necessarily.
mages. Like you can
There are
spar,
mages,
you know, I don't know how much you would want to like actually attack with full on spells. You could probably use like firebolt, and like if you strike the shield, that counts as like a
yeah.
hit or something like
Yeah.
that. You know.
Yeah, firebolts. Maybe I'll throw out some mind slithers.
Yeah, I mean, it's to
You really want to do that?
I'll shock and grasp you. I've got that now. So that stuns you in place, so you can't hit me when I run away from you.
Yeah, but you would probably find that it's Xanthius trying to use that against you because you don't have metal armor. It's not as effective as like if he uses it against like a metal target, right? So if you fight a heavily armored opponent, that's a great thing for Xanthius to like get in there and then that also frees you up to move away and like engage other targets, and there's a lot of cool tactics.
I like to think as well, I'd use the bill hook to hook Xanthius and pull him towards me and be like, blast me now.
Shock and grasp.
Yeah, but using that bill hook, like, it's also like noticing things of like, yeah, if like somebody is just out of reach, and it does give you a bit of extra reach as well, being able to pull them in closer, or pulling them closer to somebody like Ophelia, and now they're engaged with Ophelia, or pulling them closer, or pushing them away from Xanthius to let him move away. You know, there are things that you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like
Yeah,
as a
this
team,
is-
like you're kind of the linchpin that the team can form around. And sort of coordinate a lot of other stuff around. And then you're also there to protect Xanthius if he needs it and things like that. So,
I think if everyone is sort of sparring against each other, at some point I'll be like, I think it's time for me and Ophelia to have a fight against each other. Maybe we just go over here to this bench over here. I got some wine.
Oh, okay.
We can just
Yeah,
watch
we just
on.
have some-
They're not paying attention to us right now. They're fighting each other.
That's fine, yeah, we'll just...
just sit and just
okay.
drink a bottle of wine together. Just like a couple of winos on a park bench somewhere. Fighting rubbish.
It's water. Over his water.
We're sparring. We're learning so much from each other right now. Fighting.
A little spell
Tom,
comes
look,
your way.
we're fighting.
Oh wait, they're looking at us. Fire blast.
My sword. Carry on.
As you are there, as you do some of the sparring, Ophelia, like in your pack, you feel something weird. You definitely feel like this strange sense of being watched all the time, and like a heat coming from your bag or like knapsack or whatever it is you carry your objects in. There's like a strange warmth, and you get this like uneasy feeling of being watched.
Oh. If we just open her bag, just
Yeah.
hello.
I mean, you look in there, it's most of your items. Then you've got the weird eyepiece that Morris Goldsight.
There you go.
Forest mold.
Snack. I can't help it. I got brain gum. Morris Goldsight eyepiece that he was wearing, like it's kind of like with leather straps, like you would wear it over one eye, and it's got these weird lenses. And then you see that weird gun thing. And that's definitely where the heat is coming from. You didn't really get like a close look at it before, but you do now. And where's my descriptions? So the actual like eyepiece, by the way, yeah, it's like it's got leather straps that like attaches it to your head, and then it's got all these brilliant little crystal sort of lenses that can be like slotted into place. It's all beautifully made of like gold and leather and metal and things like that, and definitely seems to be quite intricate. The demon gun, as I've called it, because you don't know anything more about it. It is very strange. You can see that all over the weird, dark grey, blackish metal is stamped with markings and seals of the Helian throne. its grip is like jagged black with thorn-like protrusions that make it look like it'd be quite uncomfortable to hold. There is like a cylindrical central chamber that can be rotated and opened, and you can see that there are 6 slots, 2 of which are filled, the rest are empty. And then the body and the barrel almost twists together like a corkscrew, but parts of it are missing, and like little bits of metal hover next to those holes, and they just hover in place as you move it around. They kind of move and follow it around. So it has like these chunks missing out of this weird twisted barrel, and there is a sense of heat coming from it all the time. And you can see like glowing runes in one of those 6 chambers. One of the things inside has like a slight heat to it.
What was that, Ophelia? You said hello.
Xanthius, the demon gun.
You still have that?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
Well, I tried to throw it away and it made a noise. And
it made a noise.
yeah, it screamed at me.
Oh, it screamed. Okay, so
Yeah.
you kept it.
That's normal.
I don't know what to do with it now. It feels hot and I feel like it's watching me.
Wait, are you able to touch it? Or is it
I'm
burning
scared.
through your pack?
It feels hot and I'm scared to touch it.
Maybe just spill it onto the ground or something?
Okay, just
Yeah, I mean, you spill
Poof
stuff
it out
out.
on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, like the gun comes out, the little eyepiece, like a few of your other objects, like, your...
my cup of goo!
Yeah, your cup of goo. Whatever random shit you have comes spilling out.
Just like Rhiannon's death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ophelia, how are you carrying this much stuff? How did you fit it inside that bag?
I don't know. Just
Magic. It's
Okay.
a minor bag of holding. It's a very minor bag. It holds just enough of Rhiannon's inventory. But yeah.
any
it
bag I
like
have is always full and there's nothing useful in it.
Yeah. You had to shake it a couple of times just to get
It's
it
like
to
old
burst out.
receipts,
Yeah.
like pennies.
Does it is it hot enough to have an effect on the floor or?
No.
Okay. Well, now I know we have made a mistake. We have to put it back into the bag.
Waiting for that to drop. It's now just on the floor.
But it screamed at you. But you have
Yes.
touched it before.
I have, but I don't like it.
Okay.
It's demonic.
Did you pick up the rest of the stuff?
I pick up the rest of my stuff, yeah.
Okay, what about the eye thing? Do you pick that up as well?
I'll pick the other thing up.
Okay.
Well, let me.
Does Daisy see this?
Make a perception check for me. They went off to have their wine drinking.
Far enough away that
I will
it
see.
kind of looks like we're fighting.
I'd say it's only it won't be a high DC, like 13, just to see if you see them doing it.
I rolled a 13. So
13, there you go, yeah, so yeah. You definitely you see Ophelia shake her bag out and a bunch of stuff spills out on the floor. And she's like, my goo!
My precious goo.
Yeah. And you see that it's basically, it's the things that Morris had on him. Like Ophelia's had the has the things that Morris has on him.
I'll try and pick up the gun, but with my left undemon hand.
Okay.
with the
It's warm. It's like a warmth, like a stone that's been sat next to a fire for a while. It's got that warm touch.
Okay. I mean, it's not
and
screaming at me.
You definitely, it's not screaming, but there's a weird that sensation of when you feel like you're being watched.
Yeah, this is odd.
I don't
Comfortable.
You can definitely tell Xanthius. I mean, being a sorcerer, it's not. I'm not going to give you an automatic detect magic.
Sure.
But you can tell that this is obviously magical.
Yeah.
Looking at it, it's clearly couldn't function as a normal thing. It's held together by magic, and the 2 chambers, like the 2 bullet chambers, you can definitely tell that 2 of them have got stuff in it, the other 4 are empty. One of them, you look at it and you can see arcane runes, like glowing fiery runes on one of the bullets. And then the other one is made of almost crystal and has that greenish yellow light that was the phosphorus kind of light from the demons that you fought. It has 2 of those. It has those are the 2 that it has.
Okay.
And there's all sorts of arcane sigils and runes all over this thing.
Just out of interest, if I pass it to my other hand.
Doesn't feel hot anymore.
Okay.
Feels quite comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you should be careful with it. Whatever it is. I mean, we've seen something like this from, what was it, Commander Neros? It's only got 2 uses left.
I tried to destroy it.
And that's when it screamed at you.
Yes.
We could sell it, I guess.
But then I don't want somebody else getting their hands on this nefarious thing.
And was it when you threw it, or when did it hit something and then screamed?
I think I threw it against a wall.
That was how you were going to destroy it.
Well, that's all I could think of at the time. It was out of emotion. I was very angry.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to cause much more danger to us. It's just uncomfortable.
Is it watching us?
You definitely find, Xanthius, as you're holding, when you held it in your non-demon hand, like, yeah, that grip, it has like these weird thorn protrusions, and it was quite uncomfortable to hold. Like, you imagine if you gripped it properly, it'd actually quite hurt. In your crown steel hand, you don't notice that at all.
I'm like spinning it around.
Like, it feels, you just don't notice those thorns. Like, it's not painful to hold, basically.
Maybe we take it to Blackwing. Maybe Blackwing could keep it safe or destroy
Possibly.
it. Or...
Maybe. We can give it a go. But, I mean, I'm not able to decipher exactly what kind of magic is in this thing.
Well, it can't be anything good.
Well, it's not going to pull an entire demon army through torches to destroy Ashen's Rest. Let's put it that way.
Well, I hope not. I mean...
I've heard the word demon quite a lot, and I'm really
We're
trying
fighting.
not to...
Get back, you demon!
We were role-playing.
I mean, Data, you can see Xanthus is holding fucking Morris's gun. Like, he's got it. He's like, hey, we're fighting.
On the other hand, some wine. What a recipe for disaster.
Why have you still got that? Why does that still exist? Graf!
Don't make me come over there.
It's
You need to
okay,
go
we're not
over
going to
there.
use
They're
it.
doing things.
I'm coming over there.
Don't come over. Okay, look, we're...
By the time I come over there, that gun better be on the floor and not in your hand.
I'll put it on the floor.
Okay, Dad.
All right, but just know that it's not... I don't think it's too dangerous. We just need someone to decipher or...
It's a demon gun!
Well, yes, it's a demon gun, but...
Have you been drinking?
No.
What have I told you about drinking and bearing arms?
Actually, nothing.
A weird amount, actually. It's strange how often you brought it up, and yet I didn't listen.
Bear arms, where?
I thought at the time it was weirdly specific that you were mentioning it to us, but now we're here in this scenario, me with wine and a gun. I should have heeded the warning.
Mr. Ophelia, I expected better of you.
I'm sorry, it was in my bag and it started feeling hot and I felt like I was being watched. I swear I was going to destroy it.
But it screamed
It screamed.
when she dunked it into a wall.
Yeah.
Right. That was your glorious plan for destroying a demon gun.
First I've heard of this, by the way.
It's all I could think of at the time. I've never held a demon gun before.
Don't you really hate demons?
Yes. I thought
She tried to destroy it.
I did, and I thought it'd be better in my hands as someone who hates demons than rather being in someone's hands who likes demons, like Morris, for example.
Honourable.
There is a logic in that, yes.
Thank you.
A rather twisty logic, but there is a logic in it.
We were thinking we could take it to Blackwing and maybe destroy it or determine exactly what kind of magic is in this thing, or... I don't know. I haven't had long to think about this.
I mean, that's the smartest idea you've had all day.
Ever.
I've had quite a lot of smart
The wine
ideas
was a
today.
pretty good idea.
Sorry?
The wine was a good idea.
The wine was a great idea. What's the point
mean,
of us fighting each other? I know I'd lose. Look at her.
Oh, thank you. I mean, you're powerful too, though. Don't get me
I
wrong.
do have a couple of spells.
You do.
But, I mean, come on. Have you seen the whip?
Right, could you put the gun down while you're gesturing?
It's just gesturing around, waving his gun around. Yeah, you're great.
Anytime I gesture at anyone, I'm like, pointing it.
Take your finger off the gun, off the trigger.
Trigger safety.
I put
Trigger
it on the
safety.
floor.
Yeah, like, definitely when you, like, go over there and put it on the floor, Xanthius, like, there is definitely a bit of a kind of like, oh, man, it felt really cool. It felt strong.
Felt good in the hand.
But it just sits there. Just gone.
I don't want it anymore. It started feeling hot in my bag, and I don't like the feeling of it.
Gruff's gonna poke it with the end of his staff
Okay.
and just go, hello in there.
Gun on the floor.
I don't hear any voices, if that's what you're wondering.
Right, it's not screaming anymore.
What if I try and stomp on it?
Do you actually stomp on it?
Yeah.
Kind of like flame flickers along the barrel. Not enough to like hurt you, but there's definitely a response.
I thought you stomped on the trigger.
Bang!
Gruff's dead.
See, I don't like that. happened like that.
What's
I don't
your
like that
passive
either.
perception, Gruff? I know you're the highest. in the
Is
party.
17.
17.
I went up by 1.
Maybe Gruff hears the faintest come from it.
Right, I heard that.
See, he makes noises.
It growled at me.
Oh, that definitely needs to die.
Oh, it didn't growl at me last time, but it went last time.
Right, you in there, I can hear you. Stop playing silly buggers. I'll whack it with a staff.
Bit of flame.
Okay, let's destroy it.
Yes.
I think maybe we should take it to Blackwing.
Okay.
I just have a feeling that if we hit it a bit too hard, it might blow up.
Let's stop stomping on it. Or hitting it with staves. Don't. Stomp on it. Stop it.
Put that foot down.
To gone.
You know what's going to happen. It's going to growl. It's going to explode. We're all going to die.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Fine, let's take it to Blackwing.
Sure.
Are you okay to go to Blackwing?
Yes, I am.
Sure. So just Xanthius is going to Blackwing, or all of you are going to go to
We
Blackwing?
can all
All of
go.
us, yeah.
Yeah, sure. You guys make your way there. The door appears as you get closer to the tower. You step inside
He
that
probably
familiar
regrets.
sensation.
They must be
Opening that
so
door.
sick of us
They're
just
just
coming
like,
in
why
and
did I
out.
give them access?
You step in. You find, as normally, this kind of beautiful blue ethereal chamber, drapes with like silk gossamer drapes, weird, strange-looking butterflies and plants all over the place. The crows, number of them just on their perches, immediately turn to look at you when you step in. One of them opens its beak, and Blackmouth's voice comes out of it.
Blackmouth, who's that?
Did I say Blackmouth?
Yeah.
Blackwing.
Blackwings. Out of the mouth, Blackwing's voice comes.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you tired, Mark?
Yeah, but also dyslexic. Like,
We've all been there.
That happens.
Okay.
Every day.
You hear Blackwing's voice. I will be with you momentarily. Please make yourselves at home.
Thank you. Sorry to intrude once again.
It is not a problem. You are always welcome here,
Oh.
friends. There is, once again, there is like fruit and juices, a lot of it strange. But within a few moments, descending from their spiral staircases, always coming from whatever business they were up to upstairs, Blackwing descends in their very ethereal manner.
Sorry, I just had an idea for a banner.
Okay.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
That, I think that banner would be incredible.
It's clearly a meme I'm not involved
It's
in.
from Shrek.
Oh.
It's the little kid that just goes, do the roar.
Shrek.
Is it Shrek 2?
He's Shrek.
That's a Zoomer thing. Yeah, Blackwing descends. What do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
Hello again, Blackwing. In the previous fight,
You were
against
very successful.
with thankfully your Raven helped us a great deal as well.
Where?
Ophelia recovered a gun.
A gun?
Sorry. Let me change the terminology I use for which I describe this thing.
I mean, to you guys, you'd be like gun, but Blackwing is like, what's that?
So gun is like the okay.
Yeah, you guys, it would be like it would be known as a pistol, like like you would have, because you've seen like dragon powder pistols and stuff before. Like some of you, Ophelia probably hasn't, but it's fine. It's a gun.
Some kind of pistol which has quite a lot of demonic influence.
You speak of one of the demon weapons.
Yes, one that we're not quite certain just yet, but seems to maybe have some kind of presence residing in it. For as
yes.
Ophelia tried to destroy it.
Yes, that would
green.
align with what I understand of their weaponry. The elves, we tried to replicate their devices. They are quite clever, demons and devils. They've created these tools of warfare. They far exceed that of even the Celestials or us. But I'm familiar, yes. You said you can sense a presence. That is quite common. They take The demons being what they are, and devils indeed as well. The fiends, they take lesser creatures or fiends that have displeased their masters. Their souls are remade, bound into these weapons, which is partly what gives them their potency, along with the matter of felite and ichor that they harvest, demon's blood, as it is called, hell's blood. They use it to create these weapons. May I see it?
Yes, I'll put it on the table or whatever's in between us.
Blackwing gestures and it floats up in the air, like a mage hand is holding it.
Okay.
Yes, not the most advanced of their weapons, but certainly not the most common either. A fine specimen, a fine weapon.
We were just wondering what would be the best course of action to take in regards to this particular thing. Obviously, our first thought was maybe selling it because we're not sure of the presence that resides in this thing or if it's harmful to us. But we don't want this to fall into the wrong hands.
I see now. You are concerned of if it poses a threat to you.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you that the entity, the soul of whatever creature, whatever fiend is bound, I do not know if it is demon or devil, but it is not fully awake. It is a sort of sleep or stasis. Whatever deal, whatever pact was made to forge it has rendered it rather docile. Therefore, it is of no great harm. Were you to awaken whatever creature's sentience or spirit is held within it, that would then be quite interesting. It would have no power of its own to cause you harm, but it would be intelligent enough for speech or communication. And I am told that some of the more powerful weapons, once the sentience is awoken, it enables a greater sense of power in the weapon. I know much little else. I can tell you that the sentience is currently docile, asleep. It may react to external stimuli if you damage it or if you...
Stomp on it, hit it with a staff.
Yes, there will be reactions, but it is not fully conscious.
What would make it fully conscious?
It varies. I'm afraid that the forging of these weapons is not my specialty. When we created them in the Feywield, we did not bind spirits to it in this way. We would try and encourage natural spirits to work with us, to willingly be bonded to these devices. But Fey spirits are fickle things. They would work for a time, but then they could abandon you in the middle of a battle, and suddenly your weapon no longer functions. It is why we were able to replicate a portion of their power, but not to the same extent that the demons have the devils and the fiends have their mastery of these weapons. They truly have mastered this. They use the same process to create not just these firearms, but also machines of war, wagons that can move upon their own, steeds made of metal and hell's blood.
Powered by lesser creatures.
The spirits and the souls of them, yes.
How fascinating and also horrendous.
Oh, yes. That is the nature of their realm. It is to be used or to be the one who is using. It is the very nature of their survival. They climb upon each other quite literally to reach the throne where they reside over all of their kin.
Okay, well, if possession of this pistol is not harmful in itself, then maybe it's...
You mentioned trading it. You will struggle to trade it openly here in the Dragon Empire. I believe that these sorts of things are sort of frowned upon. You may find some traders, but they would likely be more clandestine. Others, there are individuals of the planar realms, people of the primordial isles, or perhaps even other demons or devils would be most interested in buying something like this.
I know someone who would be interested. A certain green person that would be interested.
Oh, not that charlatan.
I don't want to say their name. And I don't want to sell it to them. I want it to be gone.
It would be a good bargaining chip. Next time they decide to show
But
their
it will
face.
just, someone else will get it, and then they might wake it up or use it for bad things. I just don't think that it should exist.
I am confused. You seem reluctant to use this weapon, the spoils of your war. Why?
Well, now that you say that that's what I was going to get to, is the possession of it is not harmful to us, then I don't see why we can't use it ourselves.
I, for one, will not be wielding a weapon of demonic influence. It's an insult, frankly.
It's profane
It's effective.
and blasphemous.
Would you like to know how it is used? I can analyze its magic to tell you more about it.
Oh, well, inside there are 2 charges or something in there with runes on them. I wasn't able to identify them.
You see Blackwing casts Detect Magic. Eyes go multicolored, scans it over. Can I have the data sheet?
Oh, yeah.
A little thing for it. Yes. This weapon, it is interesting. These the 6 chambers within its central core, they can be filled with some sort of catalyst. Think of them sort of Helian rounds of the Helian form. Each of them, they are not used. Once it is fired, it is not used. Can be used multiple times over, but you select, they have different effects, you see. It seems that this one, and Blackwing gestures to the brass kind of metal with fiery runes. This cannot be removed. This is a permanent fixture of the weapon itself. It seems to be a sort of primary form of attack. But this, and they tap the crystal with the phosphorus light in it.
Yeah.
This has been inserted. This can be removed and replaced, and it allows for a different type of attack, if you wish.
And yet there are still 4 more chambers to install.
Out of game.
Yeah.
It's a magic gun.
Yeah.
You can select the chamber, 1st chamber to 6th chamber. Each of them can be slotted with different Helian rounds, demon bullets, basically, and they have different effects. The standard does 2d8 piercing damage, but every shot after the 1st, you take fire damage, and then on the 6th shot, it deals extra fire damage to the target. So it gets hot. It heats up as you fire it, and then bam.
Cool.
And then after the 6th shot, it resets. Or if you change the chamber, it resets as well. It's a bonus action to change the chamber, literally to turn the chamber around. The phosphorus shot is basically, it does D10 piercing damage, and then either radiant or poison damage on top.
Oh, wow.
And then you can also fire a smoke cloud that when it hits the target creates a big smoke cloud that poisons and blinds creatures in it.
Wow.
And it's 1 fate to recharge that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And then there are indeed 4 more slots if you were to happen to find more Helian rounds. Now that is what the information is whilst it is in its slumbering state.
Christ.
I think there's a little boy at this table who wants that gun.
Look at his little face.
You think-
Now, it is a firearm, so you need firearm proficiency.
Which I don't have.
But
None of us do.
Well,
proficiency
I guess,
can be acquired through training, which is a downtime. If you take an extended downtime, you take some time, you can learn to use it.
I'm proficient with the sling and the dart.
No, right now you wouldn't be able to use it. But with training, you could.
Yeah. Or I guess I could still use it, but
Yeah, you just won't have your
Badly.
proficiency bonus.
now if, for
Remember when
example,
Quill couldn't shoot a giant window?
yeah, now if, for example, I fired a fire shot through this gun
It
with
does
my...
specifically say there, it cannot be resisted.
See, I
wow.
mean,
Oh, you're empowering.
Can I
This is
empower
not a
the-
spell.
Okay.
But I do like the idea that this is magic and that's magic and there is a connection there. I would say only on the 6th shot because that's the
Okay.
one that deals fire damage.
Sure. Okay.
Or are you just taking it?
No, it's there. It's in the middle of the table. He does have a good
He
point.
wants
Blackwing,
it so
Blackwing
bad.
has a point. If we have a weapon available to us and it's not going to hurt us,
That we know of yet because
Well,
it's asleep.
it's asleep now. How do we wake it up?
I don't
how
want
would we
to.
avoid waking this thing up?
I could not tell you, even through the magic of identification, it does not reveal the nature of whatever spirit is within. It could
I
be
can tell you the nature. Bad. Bad nature.
It is your spoils to do with as you wish.
Can't get rid of it. We can destroy it, sure, but
Destroying it would be difficult. Ferrite is a very resilient metal. Fire and forges here in Altheya would not be hot enough to burn such a device.
In that case, we either keep it or we bury it in a pit somewhere and pray that no one digs it up.
Oh, that would work.
Xanthias, I can see that you want to keep it.
Well, I can be easily swayed.
If you do, ground rules. You're not allowed to drink and wield it at the same time.
It's a very basic ground rule.
No pointing it at any of us.
I'm not going to point it at anyone. I know how to control a thing.
You were not on the sparring grounds just now. You were waggling it around.
I,
Willy-nilly.
out of character, was not. I dropped it way before then.
I was very much Tom.
Yeah.
If you feel anything different with that gun, you tell us, and we'll get rid of it.
Okay. Anything different with the gun? I tell you. Anything different with the arm? I tell you. Anything different in my chest? I tell you.
Don't come near me with it.
You have confessed to your companions the nature of your malady.
Yeah. Yeah, they know. But yeah, if you've got one thing eating away at you, why not have two?
I suppose it's safer under our guard and our supervision in that regard.
How many times I have heard such words.
Oh, Blackwing.
You're not helping.
Did you find anything else interesting amongst those who had allied themselves with the demon?
Morris also had this, and I'll hand over the gold sight eye.
Curious.
It looks like something he made himself.
Yes, the work of the material plane. You people, you mortals here, you are very clever. Cast detect magic, and we'll tell you. This is gold sight's eye. So anyone can have this. It does require attunement and to be worn. But basically, whilst you are attuned to this item and wearing it, you have advantage on intelligence investigation checks to examine objects or discern illusions. It has 3 charges. You can spend 1 charge and use an action to cast one of the following spells: detect magic, detect good or evil, detect poison and disease, or identify. And it gains D3 charges at dawn. And this is like a mortal-made artifice. Like it is something that an artificer made, Morris Goldsight made. So I'll hand it back to you.
That's really good.
Yeah, and it is. You will find these things in D&D Beyond as well, including Demon Gun.
Oh, interesting.
Demon Gun. It's currently in Ophelia's inventory, but it's just called the Demon Gun ?
Can I ask Nim? Can I just check in with Nim about it? Just be like, what's this gun gonna do?
There is I do not approve of Xanthias having that thing.
Nope.
But they are. I cannot disagree. I cannot disagree with the elf's summary that they are powerful weapons. That is what makes the demons and the devils of the Twin Pit so dangerous, little one. They are untrained, undisciplined. They turn on each other as much as they fight anyone else. But they are vast in number, and they have these weapons, this technology. We have attempted to understand it, and some of the Legion engineers have created similar things, but not to the same level of power. Ours was too reliant on resources and materials. I worry a slumbering demon sitting in someone's pocket. It is a recipe for disaster.
Do you know, have you heard of how those things wake up?
My understanding is it would depend entirely on if it is a demon or a devil inside. If it is a demon that has been bound to it, then carnage, acts of violence, of suffering, it will feed on those things. It will be like a dog that is sleeping, awoken by the scent of meat. If it is a devil, things are more complicated. The devils are insidious and complex, and sometimes, unfortunately, they can be true to their word. It would likely have made some sort of deal when it was sealed, something that will trigger at some specified junction. But what that could be, I do not know.
Great.
Maybe when you paint me, I should have the gun.
I mean, it is, does look good.
Is that really how you want to be immortalized?
No. No.
No. I don't think you should have it. I think it's a bad thing to have.
Okay, let's get rid of it then.
But I don't think anyone else should have it either. It's difficult.
Well, who do you trust the most?
Little one, that is a valuable point, that if you were to get rid of it, there is a chance someone could find it, someone far less guided. At least you are here to watch over Xanthias, to make sure that it is not misused. And should it awaken, we have power to destroy it if necessary, or at least get rid of it. There are ways. The elf is not as clever as the elf thinks. There are ways of destroying these weapons. Perhaps not on the material plane, but there are ways.
Okay, fine. I'll just have to babysit him when he has the gun.
If need be,
Somehow.
concentrated celestial light should destroy it as well. But it would need to be incredibly powerful and intense, not simply a spell or like the blade that we conjure. It would need to be more potent than that.
Okay. Good talk.
Yes,
Go
be
ahead.
cautious.
No. Bad.
Sorry? What?
Well, it depends if it's a demon or a devil.
What, in the gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of how it wakes up. I've just been having a little chat. If it's a demon, then if you're really violent, if there's lots of violence, that could wake it up. That's something that is likely to happen.
We
It
don't
just
get
happened
involved in
to
a lot
us.
of violence.
It just happened to us. That's how we got the stupid thing in the first place.
It's a gun.
And
How curious that you would know so much about this, little girl.
oh, don't act like you don't know.
Do not know what?
It seems very convenient for a gun to need violence to wake up. That's exactly what it's for.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It could be really easy to wake it up.
I see. Okay, any other way?
Well, devils make a lot of deals, and if one of their deals happens to, something triggers that, then that could wake them up. And you don't know what that is. That could be anything.
Okay.
With that, it's time to end the episode.
I'm keeping the gun.
Xanthias.
I know you are.
wielding the demon.
Finger off the trigger.
Okay, fine.
Look,
I don't want to just burn loot just because demon.
It's just that
I probably should do that.
You do.
did
have
anyone in
a
Erois
daylight.
have like a cursed item that was like bad for their health?
I had Crown Rend in Lightfall.
You had Crown and Lightfall.
Someone had something.
Sentry's weapon did damage to her, but it wasn't bad.
Same thing. Yeah. Starbreaker was epic. Oh, well, it looks like maybe we missed a generation. It's passed from Kim to Tom.
I feel like we.
No, there was.
Tiangong, but no,
It's not the same. It wasn't like a corrupting.
Sounds like
influence.
spoilers to me. And
Yeah.
if you want to find out if we did, watch Heroes.
Yeah. But with that, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you very much for joining us. Nice little interlude, bit of shopping, bit of like setting some stuff up, just to kind of tide things over in between.
Next time,
will be the full start of a new arc that is going to begin with the tournament. It's not a tournament arc before anyone's worrying. We're not going to do a Dragon Ball Z tournament arc or whatever.
But it
It's
begins with-
It begins with a tournament, and we're going to pick that up next week.
other
So
people coming down to see it too.
we will see you then. Take care. Bye bye. We love you. Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye bye.
See you next
Bye
week.
now.